I thought this shit ain't opening up. There you go. Yeah, that was crazy. That was so lame. Nigga sent me that. Just I don't know why somebody sent me that. They sent me that shit too. Or that was a bad opening up. That was a bad opener. That was a bad opener right there. Might have lost a couple of viewers for that right there. Lex Diamonds, what's happening?
Yo, Trap, Bradshaw, what up, man? What up?
What's going on, King? What's happening?
Yo, B, I just saw what
What up?
you put out there.
You
Alchemist
seen
is
that?
doing Erica Badu's album. A
Yo,
whole album.
Prodigy ain't never. I mean, Primo ain't never do that, nigga. Primo ain't never do that. What are you talking about, bro?
That's just gonna be. That might be fire.
That might be fire. You know that's gonna be fire. Cut it out.
We'll
You
see.
know that's gonna be fire.
If Alchemist is allowed to be Alchemist, it could be fire. If he's trying to foster music for Erica Badu, in that R&B world, or change his sound a little bit to bridge something to her, it might be. But if
Yeah,
he's
that's a fact.
Alchemist,
NBA man, my bad, guy.
no, go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say that. I think NBA just said just now. Rest in peace, George Foreman. I was gonna say that though. Yeah, I needed to open up with that though. That's a fact. But go ahead. What you saying, bro?
No, man. Hold man. Forget all that. Rest in peace to
Yeah.
George Foreman, man. For
Yeah,
real.
rest in peace, George Foreman, man. For real.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I should have
He's
made some
young.
burgers on the Foreman grill, man, just for that right there today.
Word up. Spark it up.
Got
76?
Foreman grill out. 76, yeah. Yeah. I gotta call my pops, matter of fact. Damn, I'm gonna call them tomorrow. Pop 75.
Yeah, man. My pop died at 77, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah. That's a
No, it's not.
Man,
No.
I mean, yeah. Like my pop's going through like early stages of dementia right now. You know what I'm saying? His body breaking down on him too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I still want him here, you know what I'm saying, for myself and my kids and everything like that. I'm not gonna say selfish needs or something like that. But he making it through. He doing good. Every day he doing better and better though.
Right. When he sees you, does he see does he
Yeah,
see
he still remember. Yeah. He didn't hit that. Like I said, it's like early stages like that. There's early stages really with it. But
I'm gonna pray for him, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, please do. Appreciate you.
For real, man. For real.
Appreciate you. Word. But let's get back to the hip hop, the Alchemist, man. My bad. I didn't mean to bring that moment into it though, but
No, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be.
But the ill shit is that you see the beautiful shit is though that Picasso. It'll be first. It would be dope. It was the first time it was happening. He has a fucking pool of cats he can reference. He can reference Primo. Primo did shit for D'Angelo.
Right.
The cats who've done this before. So all he has to do is kind of mimic like he always does, and it'll be some fly shit.
He always mimics. You gotta stop that. You
He's
gotta
a mimic,
stop
man.
the mimic. No, he doesn't. Who was he mimic? Who does he mimic? Who does he mimic?
Trap. You're a dope producer. You're a dope producer. You're a mimic. I'm a pretty good. I'm a pretty good promoter.
I get what you're saying.
I'm a pretty good producer, man. I make some dope shit. I'm a mimic, bro.
I get what you're saying. But I mean, everybody would be considered a mimic if you wasn't the first person who did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't the first person who did it from going for your terms. You a mimic then. That's basically what you're saying. So if you wasn't the first to do it, then you mimicking somebody else, whoever did it first.
I think you can mimic and then you eventually graduate to your own sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the difference. I know the difference between a Pete Rock and the Premier Beat. I know the difference between Nas and Black Milk. I know the difference between Pharrell and fucking Timbaland. We all know the differences. You mimic until you create your own sound. You know the difference between Dilla and fucking whoever, Shy Skills.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
What you're saying.
It's not much of a. I mean, the mimic
so
is a.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You would think that Alchemist is still mimicking people then?
Yes, because he's still trying to find his sound, and so he gets around Primo. He starts sounding like Primo. He gets around fucking Rock Marciano. He sounds like Rock Marciano. He don't sound like the dude in Cali.
Muggs.
He don't sound like Muggs. Why not? He's moved on from that sound.
You got to give me some examples of this one day, man. Because I don't hear him sound like none of them dudes, man. I've never heard him sound like none of them dudes. I think that what I think with Lex happened though is the same thing that happened with Cash Money with you. I think you might have had a beat competition with him or something like that. He might have smoked your boots, and then now it's forget Alchemist. He's a mimic. Because I mean, you said that what's name didn't start the Transformer shit. Cash Money. And then the real story came out that Cash Money beat you in the DJ contest, and that's the reason why you said it.
Okay, first of all, it was no contest. All right, it was just a little friendly whatever, and it was. First of all, let me tell you something. You give me the same records and the same studio as Alchemist, I'll fucking destroy him. I will destroy him.
So that's what happened.
Trap,
what up, Lava?
I think you can fuck him up.
I mean, listen, man. Alchemist is dope, dude. Like yeah. I'm gonna say like this though. Alchemist is a producer that I gain influence off of. You know what I'm saying? Not to say like copy influence, but like if I hear Alchemist album, I want to go cook up right after I listen to the album. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes I won't like he'll put it out. I'll take a minute before I go in and listen to it because I know, you know what I'm saying, I was gonna make me feel like that as far as production wise and shit. Right. So like I fuck with like I really mess with Alchemist dope. But he dope, man. He dope, dude. I'm telling you, from 2020 to present day, he's the best producer we had in hip hop, dude. I'm not saying all time. I'm not putting him on an all time thing. Like, yo, he's the best all time, best producer ever. No, I'm not doing that. But I'm gonna say from 2020 to now, I got him down as one of those. I listened to I'm gonna send it to you too. I listened to an album today. I listened to Saba and No ID put an album out today.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it's all right too. It's all right. Word, it's all right. We got like 17 songs on it, all fully produced by No ID.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it's fire. I mean, like, and like, yo, what I like about No ID so much though is like, yo, he's very like innovative. Like he just do different things. Like he remind me like a Mad Lib, but him is like in the same bag like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they do different. Like they do samples, but they do it different though, big. You know what I'm saying? No ID is crazy. He's a GOAT for real.
He should be mentioned with the premieres and P-Rock, but he's not.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He should be. Why you think that though? Why you think he don't get mentioned like that?
Well, I think it's because the artist that he works with, like, it's not known. Well, he works with everyone just like those other two, but Premier is just like he really pumps up New York. Pete Rock's from New York, and I No ID. You find out later if he's working. I don't know. I can't even mention that.
Like I would say he did.
Yeah, and from cats all around. Like he's like Chicago based, right? He's from Chicago, right?
Yeah. He was wasn't he like Common's main producer when he first came out?
That's my understanding. I could be That's my understanding.
Yeah, I think he was Common's main producer. I think he did a lot of
you said Common.
Common.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was Common's main producer. Yo, Sam, I'm about to send it to you, Sam. Pull up. Will this be Alchemist's first complete? Maybe, Sam. I think so. Sam, text me from the number you want me to send it to. But I think it might be. I think it might be his first one. I want to do that discussion. What we've been talking about. All right. So text me real quick from the I think this might be his first R&B full R&B produced album. I think this might be it.
No, he has some in the tuck. We just haven't heard it. You have to try that. You have to try to merge R&B but we haven't heard it. So this is the first time we'll hear it now. We'll see how he does.
I know that. I know what's the name gonna do some crazy. I know Erykah Badu gonna show her. She gonna go crazy. Cause when you put her on like a beat, like a, I remember my favorite, one of my favorite recent tracks was the I can make you put your phone down. I can make you put your phone down. Yeah, that beat was so crazy. She was going crazy on the joint. And that's all she was saying on the shit too. Beat was going crazy.
Right.
Word. So I can just imagine with a whole album of her just having some crazy beats on it. There you go, I got you saying. Having some crazy beats, she gonna go crazy.
I love Erykah Badu, man.
Yeah, me too.
There was a time where I just felt like it was D'Angelo and then Erykah Badu neck and neck, making like creative, soulful shit, hip hopish vein shit, and then this Erykah Badu just went like soared right past D'Angelo and just.
Well, I don't know, man, because that Voodoo album crazy. The Voodoo album crazy. The Brown Sugar, the first, like they might. I mean, like I guess because she kept going on, but she kind of took a break though. They had like, yeah, I see what you're saying. They have like the same trajectory of careers though, and then like Erykah Badu just became so mystical and like just so much of a unicorn, yo. Like she didn't even have to put so much music out. She's just super dope.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when Jill Scott and Erykah Badu did the what's the name? The verses? That was a dope verses. She just so dope, D. Yo, listen, right? So my brother went to like some listening party or something like that in California, like in the hills or something. So he goes, I think it might have been an Alchemist crib or some shit like that. And he said that Erykah Badu had like her own station there. And she was promoting her peanut butter that she was coming out with, her peanut butter and jelly she coming out with. She was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for everybody and shit there. I said, get the fuck out. I said, yo, who does that, B?
He's wild.
Like, yo, she got her own peanut butter and jelly, B. Word.
From 97 to 2010, every album that she's dropped has been a fucking classic.
Yeah.
Like 215, something you have to. For me,
but she ain't had that many albums though. How many albums she had though? How many albums she had?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But there was like some live albums though too, right? Like some of them are like live albums. Cause I remember like.
Wait, Baduism, Mama's Gun, Worldwide, New America, New America Part 2.
Yeah, she did.
But you can't use my whatever phone, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's 6 albums, bro.
Yeah, she do got some albums on. Yeah, I didn't know she had albums like that though. I thought she was like, I thought Erykah Badu was like she was like one of them artists that she stay on tour a lot, so she'll drop an album and that rock that shit out for 6-7 years and just be touring off that album. That's what she been doing. But yeah, I wanna wait to Sane get here because Sane was talking. Sane been calling my line. Been speaking about. He was saying how he realized what it is with Kanye and why he been getting that. Not like his whole rant, but it's like just the fact of him getting that, like surprisingly the way he hating on Kendrick. And he said it's basically hate. I want him to get here so he can explain it. He said it's basically hate.
I'm all saying, get in, man. I feel this craziness.
Yeah, I sent it to him. He said that Kanye sees where the game is about to go, and he hates it. Like normally he cheers on the new young artists. They said he hating right now.
But where's the game about to go?
It's just changing. It's changing to like it's also changing to like what Kendrick is doing as far as finding the balance of being a lyricist. There you go. Being a lyricist and I'm gonna let him explain it.
Okay.
Sane, what up? You there? Your mic good?
Sane, what up, man?
What up?
There you go. You good. Go ahead, Sane. I was gonna try to explain. I was just telling him a little something before you got here what you were saying. Go ahead though, bro.
Hold on.
Compile your notes. Get your notes together.
He definitely got him. He definitely got
Nah,
him.
it ain't no notes. What I was saying is, look, okay.
Cap. It's all on Cap right now. Tell him, saying, go ahead, bro.
Listen, man. When you see what's going on, right? I think Kanye now. When Kanye said, "Well, if Cardi does the Super Bowl, or if Drake does the Super Bowl, or if Travis does the Super Bowl, it's all good. But if Kendrick does the Super Bowl, he basically put it like, well, Kendrick is not cut from their cloth, right? So what Kanye realizes is that Kendrick is a changing of the guard from him, right? So Cardi, Travis Scott, all of these people they got Kanye DNA in them, right? So he's hating because he knows so he knows that once Kendrick is sitting on at that seat, it is a complete shift from Kanye, meaning his style, his music, his production, everything. It's a complete shift, and I think that Kanye knows that, and he hates it. And this is why he started like today. He said Soldier Boy was more important in hip hop than Kendrick. So why is he saying? And this is because Kendrick represents the end of Kanye. Not like Kanye is going to completely go away, but it's a complete paradigm shift, and he knows it. It's kind of like I was looking at something that when Rakim came into the game, right? Even though Kendrick has always been here, right? Even though he's been here for a while, but when Rakim came into the game, all of the cats that came in with that Melly Mel style, a lot of them hated Rakim and hated what that era represented because it was a complete change. And then if you go, even when you go to Kanye in '04, right? When Kanye came into the game, there was a lot of OGs that didn't like Kanye. Why didn't they like Kanye? The reason they didn't like Kanye is because Kanye represented a change. He represented something new. So what I think was going on with Kanye, the reason he's targeting Kendrick is because, for one, Cardi putting Kendrick on his album. Also, Kanye is also looking at this like, damn, this really is a change. This is a changing of the guard, right? And him doing the Super Bowl. Well, first of all, Kanye should know they ain't gonna never in a fucking million years let him do the Super Bowl, right? But I think more so Kendrick represents a change and a paradigm shift, and Kanye, I don't think Kanye's ready for it. Everybody else, look, if Travis is at the top of the game, Kanye knows he's still got a chance to come back, right? Not really come back, but Travis has the DNA. Kendrick is the only big star, major star now that don't have a Kanye DNA, bro. And I think Kanye is afraid of that.
What you think of that? What you think of that, Lex?
I don't think Travis is the top of the game, but
No, I said if he's at the top of the game.
I said Travis. You said that Travis, right? All right.
No. I said no. Listen, I said if Travis is at the top of the game, Kanye is completely fine with it because Travis has Kanye DNA. Drake has Kanye DNA. Cardi has Kanye DNA. Even Little Baby to an extent, right? With the auto tune, you go back to 808s. Future.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about when you go and listen to 808s and Heartbreaks, right? Even Future, like the whole auto tune, all of that shit. Even though Kanye didn't start it, but 808s kind of help 808s and Heartbreak kind of help. What's the word I'm looking for? It kind of helped push it to the forefront, right? So then when you go and listen at when you listen at all of that styles from Future to Future to Travis, all of them, you can hear Kanye's DNA, right? But when you go to Kendrick, you don't really hear his DNA, especially with this GNX album. You don't really hear a lot of Kanye's DNA. And I think Kanye is afraid that, hey, if Kendrick is sitting at the top of the game, and it doesn't just happen in hip hop, it happens in music all the time, right? When certain artists come in and push certain artists out, you know that, Lex. When certain artists come in, think about this. Teddy Riley was the end of Cause she and all of that early funk sound that we heard from the mid 70s to the from the mid 70s to the mid 80s, like from the probably late 60s to the mid 80s. When Teddy Riley came in, it was an end of all it was the end of all of that, right? So no, people didn't want to hear that shit anymore. So even though we look at Rick James now as an icon, once Teddy Riley came in, we didn't want to hear Rick James anymore, right? Even Prince had a hard time of readjusting when Teddy Riley came in, right? Michael Jackson had to go get Teddy Riley to stay relevant. There's in music, it happens all the time. When certain artists come in and certain waves come, it symbolizes the end to the things that came before it. And I think Kanye thinks that he's looking at Kendrick like if Kendrick is at the top and Kendrick DNA starts to really spread throughout hip hop, it symbolizes the end, not to Kanye as the legend, but to his music
Makes
going
him out
forward. I don't
being
think
old. Makes him out as being
yeah.
old now.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It ages him. It ages him basically. But I mean, I can understand where you come from with that. And yeah, he was just he said some crazy. I think he said some shit like, yeah, that comparing that saying Soulja Boy was more important to hip hop than Kendrick Lamar was crazy. What you think of that, J. Will?
I think it's true, but I disagree with everything said about the situation, and only because of this, right? Kanye West came out in 2004. Kanye West is no longer in his prime. There's no need for Kendrick to be a threat to Kanye because Kendrick Lamar himself been out for 15 years. And I feel even as a Drake fan, right? In 2011, that nigga Kanye West literally said him and Jay-Z may watch the throne because of Drake interest into the game. So Kanye West, and he said even like previously in recent years, he said he was like was jealous of Drake's success and how people view him versus how they view Kanye. What he mean by that, I don't know. That's what Kanye West said. So I don't think he's threatened that Kendrick is on the top of the game because Kendrick has always been at the top of the game. So I don't know what this new narrative that Kendrick is just now becoming like this megastar when he always been. And no, I think this is just Kanye West. He has a list of rappers that he go out of, and Kendrick just added to the list. I don't think it's nothing really that special. He does this with Drake, Cole, Future, Nicki, Jay-Z, like everybody. So Kendrick is just on the list next. I don't think it has anything with him being threatened by a spot because Kendrick would never surpass Kanye.
Kendrick would never
Wait, you
surpass
just said
Kanye?
No,
Go ahead. Hold
hold
on.
on, but Jay Will, you just said that when Drake came in, he said he may watch the throne basically because he feared the rise of Drake, right? So it makes sense. So Kanye is fearing a rise. Like when you think about this,
Kendrick
GNX, right?
Rise is already Kendrick Rise was 15 years ago.
No, not like it is now. He's
But no,
always
this
been
is
there.
not a rise though. This is him. This is him just being an extension of his legacy. Kendrick Lamar is almost at legacy stage. How long he's been in the game?
Mm.
That nigga's almost been. This nigga almost been in the game for 20 years.
So
Like Kendrick
Kendrick
Prime is
never put out
behind
another
him.
album right now. He a legend,
Undisputedly.
undisputedly.
And I also
Would
think
he be? Hold on, real quick. Would he
go
be?
go
Would
ahead,
he be
G.
mentioning Go Talk?
If
If
I
he
think
stopped right now,
Kendrick, I've been thinking Kendrick was a top 10 rapper even before this year. So even though I'm not a big fan of Mr. Morale, I think even when that dropped, like Kendrick been a top 10 rapper to me. I'm not like these new people that just now feel like Kendrick is one of the greatest.
what
And
y'all
I,
think
and
to
I,
the stage though? Go ahead, Sam.
real quick, and I also think another thing he's jealous of is that he was the one, even though Drake is still relevant, but Kendrick was the one to defeat him. Kanye probably always thought it was going to be him, right? Then Kanye tried this shit like was it last year, or the year before when he was saying that shit, and I think he's also jealous that Kendrick was the person to do that.
I don't agree with
I don't think
that.
Kanye could have ever took Drake out though. On the music wise,
Kanye probably thinks Kanye
I
probably
don't know
thought he
why he would have
could.
thought that.
Like,
Kanye, yo, that should have ended up bad. That should have ended up bad for Kanye. If they would have ever went at it, say Kanye and Drake went through the same shit that Kendrick did. That shit would have been bad. I don't think Kanye can make a fucking diss record. Excuse my language. I don't think Kanye can make a diss record like that though.
We know that, but that don't mean Kanye knows that.
Bro, that's
he'd
why.
have Sci-Hi right.
No,
though.
but you know what? Some that would try what I do respect about Kanye and Drake kind of relationship is they really, even though they begin to tour it a lot over the last 20 years, they always respect each other's craft and said that they the greatest in retrospect. Just like you seen this tweet this morning, there's only 12 rap kings and Drake was on there.
And he ain't put Kendrick on there. That's when I'm about to call you. I'm about to call you about that too, saying he ain't put Kendrick on there.
And then
because he's Kendrick. He hates Kendrick right now. He hates Kendrick.
He hates Drake right now. He just called Drake the F word on Twitter.
Call him up,
He'll probably take Drake off in a couple of days.
Yeah, he's bugging. They said they tried to check him in. They tried to check him in.
And then what's funny about it is he put 12. He said there's 12 kings, right? But then he put Run DMC. Run DMC is a fucking group. So are you putting? Do they count as one person? I didn't understand that.
Let me see that.
I definitely did.
I stopped watching this Twitter. I stopped watching this Twitter. It's too crazy.
You know what somebody was talking about Trap? They was like, what if they end up trying to put Kanye in the conservative shit? That nigga better get off. He gotta get off Twitter, man. He's spiraling.
Got to.
Man, I bet them Kardashians they gonna figure out a way to put his ass in one. Watch.
Oh, they already. He's saying
trust me, they own it.
He's saying crazy shit about them running a sex trafficking ring and all that shit. Yo, he like they ain't going for that shit. You know, that moms ain't going for that.
Over that shit.
When they get done with him, when they get done with his ass, next time you gonna see Kanye, you're gonna be sitting at the table eating applesauce with a smile, and ain't saying a fucking word.
That's a fact. We're gonna end up doing them like that. I mean, I think that's why he got out of the marriage though, because they was trying to do that shit before during the marriage and all that shit. Here you go, right here. What he said? Ye lives to the 12 kings: Wayne, me, Jay, Drake, Biggie, Pac, 50, M. Hold on. LL, Run DMC, Nas, and Rakim. I'm not mad at this list, B.
That's nice.
I'm not mad at that list at all.
I'm not mad at that list at all.
But does Run DMC count as? How does they? It's two or there's three people. Do they count as one?
You putting them as a group.
It's a group, B. Like who you taking out that? Hold on, let me ask you a question. Who you taking out that list right there to replace with Kendrick?
50.
You said
I'll read it up one more time. I'll read it up one more time. Hold on.
50.
Right, hold on. I'll read it up one more time. Wayne, Kanye, Jay, Drake, Biggie, Pac, 50, Eminem, LL, Run DMC, Nas, Rakim. Who you taking out?
50.
I don't know. But you know the issue with y'all saying 50. If we talk about impact and influence, you can't take 50 off that list. You can't. You don't get the trickle down effect of Kendrick without 50 Cent being in the picture. So you can't take 50 out. Like I feel like that list right there is valid. Like you can't wherever you place Kendrick is gonna be some type of influence, impact that is left off. I don't think you can move anybody for Kendrick.
Yeah, I agree with the majority of the list. I wouldn't put Kendrick on there just yet. I think the next 5 years is going to be critical. I think Kendrick next 5 years and his next 2 or 3 albums is going to establish him on that list, and he'll be able to remove somebody off that list. Yeah, but if it was anybody I would take off for him, it'll probably because can't take Rakim off. He was an innovator. Can't take Run DMC off. Can't take LL off. Who else he had on there? Can't take Big Pac off.
Eminem, Pac, Big J.
M gotta go. M gotta go.
I don't think M goes either.
Yo, we don't wait. We don't listen to Eminem's albums.
Let's go to that.
We don't listen to Eminem albums.
Eminem though.
Say again.
You don't get Kendrick without Eminem.
Nah, not true.
I don't know about that.
That is true, bro.
Nah.
That is one of his biggest
because when he talks about his
influences.
influences and he talks about Nas and he talks Like all that comes from another place as well. It's not like
Nah, that whole
Eminem's tree.
that flow and that. So
Eminem's tree is
There's
not the
other people like
start.
too. It's like
Eminem got
Wayne,
his from
Kendrick. It's
somewhere.
like Wayne.
yeah, but hold on. But if you
What's his
think
name?
about
Other
the
nigga from Cali.
direction Dr. Dre was when Eminem was coming in, like in that 99 going to 2000, Eminem was very pivotal in that whole thing. Who's to say Dr. Dre isn't retired by that time?
That's a
That
fact.
Kendrick come in if Eminem doesn't exist. Who's to say Dr. Dre isn't washed at that point?
But
By
I'm with Lex though.
2010 when
So
he
wait a
came
minute.
in.
Keep that same energy, Smirk. Nobody's playing "Hi, My Name Is."
No,
Like
but no, no, no.
Right,
nobody's doing that.
right.
So
They'll
when you
play. I
said
am what I
99,
am. Say what I am.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
what's
but
the name shit
they
too.
playing that at soccer events. They not playing that in the hood.
Don't matter.
If
See,
we
I
talking
gotta
about the
stop gauging it
culture,
off.
yeah, y'all gotta
Bro.
if
stop doing that,
if
bro.
we talking about the culture, we are not listening to say
Okay,
I am whatever I say. We're not listening to that.
okay,
If
hold on,
we
bro.
have to be honest.
Yeah,
We
but you
know
know,
Yo,
we
the
know
I
the
can say
issue.
numbers
something
is
real
big,
quick.
but we're talking about being honest.
I got you,
Like
Trip.
no,
Go ahead,
But
Trip.
my
Hold
go
on, real
ahead.
quick. Go ahead, Trip.
Nah, but if we using that metric of what niggas not listening to, I mean Kendrick about to have two diamond albums, possibly before 50 gets his first diamond album. You know what I mean? If we talking about 50 responsible for, or 50 or Eminem being responsible for Kendrick's rise, then where the fuck is Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg on the list?
I was just gonna say
I was thinking about Snoop. I was thinking about Snoop
I was
too.
thinking about Q.
I was thinking
Yeah,
about
because
I
Snoop.
like,
was thinking
how
about
can we?
Scarface.
So if we gonna do this long line of, oh, if this person went and did it, Dre would have retired at this point, blah blah, this that and the third, nigga. Ice Cube is partly responsible for making Dre, and then Snoop Dogg is damn near the one that solidified him.
Mm-hmm.
And it went both ways. It wasn't like just one solidifying the other. But you know what I mean? So how is Snoop not on that list? And Snoop is somebody that was relevant for damn near longer than anybody that's on that list.
Yeah, when they put
Consistently
Snoop,
relevant.
but I think my whole point is though, Trey, is there's no room to put Kendrick on that list. If you want to, you have a valid argument. If you want to say take somebody off of Snoop, go ahead. I think Snoop deserves to be up there.
Yeah.
But my point
But
is Kendrick
50
doesn't
is
have
the
a
shortest
ranking
tenured
right
dude
there.
on there. Maybe, unless maybe Rakim. Those are the shortest tenured dude. Like their level of greatness was the shortest period of time of anybody on that list. Kendrick has already surpassed both of their primes. You can add Rakim's prime and 50's prime, and Kendrick's career is already past that point. And you can't use the metric thing because once Kendrick gets certified, he's gonna have more record sales than 50. So what are you gonna hang
Yeah.
over his head? When you talk about 50's influence, what is 50's influence? He influenced the
Um.
niggas from his crew, but none of them niggas had careers. And the one nigga that broke away from his crew had the best career of any of the niggas he
Wait,
fucked
so
with.
who did Kendrick bring in that was impactful on the culture?
You don't have to bring in somebody. Who did
Nah,
Rakim
but
bring in?
but the fact that 50 Cent had G Unit and he had the game, Tony Yayo, and all them hip hop niggas, they have impact on the culture.
I
So
wouldn't
to
even say that.
deny that to put for Kendrick
I
ain't brought
was
nothing to the game.
hold on. I would say this though. I think we're it's only a couple of artists that we done seen throughout hip hop that you've seen from the time when they came in. You've seen their effect on the game and how they influenced the game so much. And I think 50's influence that he left in the game is bigger than his actual what he actually done did himself like that though. You understand what I'm saying? Though? Like when you go to these kids, like kids that's around like probably like say like 30 years old and shit like that, their favorite rapper is 50 Cent. Most of them.
My thing,
You
if
know what I'm
we
saying?
want to throw, if niggas want to put in an argument to put Kendrick in there, and we ignoring people's impact and influence, then there should be no reason for Rock. Let's take Rakim off. Let's take
You gotta
Ella
do
and
Rock
Run DMC off. I mean, if we going by if by they metric, they trying to
Mm-hmm.
look over impact and influence in
Yeah.
the culture. Then shit, let's take Rakim and Run DMC off, and let's put somebody who had a longer career than them.
Yeah. Yeah, what
But
you
when
about
we
to say,
talk
Trip?
I
about
mean, and
even the metric of bringing people in the game, if we go down that list, how many of them niggas actually brought people in the game that we consider great? How many niggas on that
Not
list
too many.
of the 12?
Yeah, I didn't
How
even
many
know that
people
was a
brought greats
metric
into?
who you
Let me
brought
see.
in. I didn't think that had anything to do
Let's
with it.
go through the list. Let's go through the list real quick. Hold on, let me go back to the
Like
list.
your influence compared to who you're introducing is not the same. I think Run DMC's influence on rap, I get that part if we're acknowledging Run DMC. Like they were the kings. They inspired everybody from individuals to groups. But like you said, who did they bring in? They brought the Afros and like ain't nobody Some people don't even know
so
who
here we
Afro
go. Let's
is.
go
I
through the
forgot
list.
about them dudes.
Let's go through. Let's go through the list. Let's go through the list right now. Right. So who did? We're gonna go through each person. Who did Wayne bring into the game? Drake, Nicki Minaj,
Drake,
Nicki, and
Nicki,
Tyga.
yeah, Tiger.
Tiger. Thought he bought
All right.
somebody else. I can't think of him.
Who did Kanye
Didn't
bring into the
Travis
game?
McCoy bring Tyga in?
Yeah,
No,
it's a
that
fact.
was Wayne.
Kanye
No.
brought Don C.
Kanye bought in.
He brought him in first. Tiger
Kanye
brought him
bought
in,
in Cuddy, didn't he?
but he broke him though. Kanye brought in. You want to give him Cuddy?
Yeah, that was his artist. That was
You give him Cuddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying Day and Night came out before he got with Kanye, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was
he recorded that in East New York. Yeah,
that's what I'm
that was
saying.
on his mixtape.
Yeah. So that was his breakthrough song. Jim Jones bought him if anything. Because when Jim Jones jumped on the
Shit.
remix, that shit took off.
Well, who Kanye got? Fucking Rhyme Fest? I don't know.
John Legend.
GLC.
Yeah, okay.
John Legend.
Really
Consequence.
though.
Consequence ain't even come. Consequence.
Consequence was with Tribe first, wasn't he?
Tribe first, yeah. He's with Tribe first.
Yeah.
Nah, but Big Sean.
Big Sean. Y'all give him Big Sean.
And he says he hated. He says he hated he bought him in the game.
He did say that. He said that was his biggest mistake.
All right, Jay-Z.
Kanye.
Bleak.
Nah, come on. You can't use Kanye.
Well, I'm not giving
Kanye just said on the tweet. Kanye just said on the tweet, Dame bought him in. He just said it.
Man, listen, Dame signed them. Jay stood next to him. If Jay ain't standing next to Kanye ain't where he at right now.
So Kanye.
Yeah. Kanye.
So
That's
Kanye,
false. That's
Yeah, I
false.
think that's
What's
a reach.
false?
I'm not doing that.
Bleak.
What's false?
Bleak.
Nigga, Kanye gave Jay-Z, if I'm not mistaken, his first top 10 hit and his first top 5 hit.
All right, but what I'm saying is this though. You talking about production. I'm talking about artist-wise. If Jay put Kanye on that point out the bounce shit from Blueprint 2, like, come on, he gave him that shot right there. That was the first shot he gave him.
Yeah, but like Dame said, nobody thought
5 hits by itself before he
nobody thought Kanye could rap. Dame was the only one that stood by him and believed in him as a rapper. Jay did not believe in that man as a rapper. He just made the business decision to go with Jay, and that's to Kanye's credit for whatever he sort of do that. But I'm not giving Jay credit for breaking Kanye West.
So y'all telling me Kanye would have been career would have been the same way if Jay ain't staying next to the nigga?
Probably.
I don't think it's a thing of Jay standing next to him because Dame was the one pushing him. You can stand next to the nigga all day you want, but who's the nigga going to the station saying, yo, y'all got to pump this cat Kanye West? That was Dame doing that. You can stand all you want.
And even if we look at Kanye's entire catalog, if we take off all the records with Jay-Z, Kanye's still Kanye.
Like, God bless the dead trap, Chris Gotti stood next to a bunch of niggas in Murder, Inc., but we know it was Irv Gotti who was doing the pushing. Chris Gotti was around for everything. He stood there, but he wasn't doing the heavy lifting and pushing that Irv did. So, like, nah.
Dame could have not did that with Kanye without Jay, but without the point out the bounce, without the Jay jumping on. Yo, I don't think so.
We didn't even care about Point Out the Bounce. Like,
yeah,
that's
like
the
I'm trying to figure out what did he say on Point Out the Bounce?
No, but that was the first song that we basically heard Kanye on though.
But we know Kanye more from Champions than fucking Point Out the Bounce.
We know Kanye from the Truth beat with Beanie Siegel. Like, I don't even remember Point Out the Bounce. The fact
we used to call that nigga Kane West.
Right.
So you ain't giving Kanye to Jay.
No.
Okay, cool. So who you giving to Jay then? Beanie Siegel? No, he go to the Roots. He go to the Roots. Matter of fact, I forgot.
Memphis Bleak.
Want to go to the Roots?
Sauce Money.
Sauce Money, right? Yeah.
He got Sauce Money. He got Memphis Bleak. He got.
Sauce
Money. I mean, could you argue that
he
Emil? Here's one trap. What about Foxy Brown?
You're gonna say Rel now too, right? Rel.
What about Foxy Brown?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, he definitely got Foxy.
Fox was popping before Jay was.
No, he put her on that record.
He put her on the song though.
She was on the Biggie joint first. She was on the Biggie joint first, wasn't she?
Biggie joint. You want the Total remix? You want the Total remix?
Nah.
Y'all bugging right now.
She was on the LL remix and the Total remix.
LL, I said my bad. I said Big. I meant to say LL. My bad. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say LL.
When did that come out? I heard Ain't No Nigga in 94.
Yeah.
I heard it in 94 and 89.1. So when did them songs come out?
It became a hit in the summer of '96 after the I Shot You remix.
But they was playing that shit already though.
And Foxy came out the gate hotter than Jay. So how the fuck he put her on? He couldn't put himself on. Look at the numbers from '96. Look at Reasonable Doubt's numbers compared to Il Nana's numbers. They're not even close. Foxy Brown
her first record was I Shot You.
Jay didn't become a star till '98. Jay didn't become a star till 2 years after that. How the fuck he put her on?
Yeah, I heard on it. I heard on the LL joint before I heard the joint with the Ain't No Nigga. Yeah, so I don't know.
First record
because Trap was listening to Stretch and Bobito.
Yeah, that's what I heard it on.
Everybody else was listening to Stretch and Bobito.
Yeah, that's when I first heard it on. That's why I said I was like 94 in the 94.
You, Master, and Lex was the only niggas listening to Stretch and Bobito.
Stretch and Bobito was fire, man. You bugging. Stretch and Bobito was fire back then. That's Thursday nights. They made a whole They got a dope documentary about that shit too.
So then somebody go turn around and say Big L put Jay-Z on because they was on that freestyle together.
Nah.
Come on.
We know what's the name put Jay-Z on. I probably give it to Kane or
nigga Jazzo.
Jazzo, yeah,
got
Jazzo.
the crust
Okay.
out that nigga. I took him out the
Jazzo,
project.
okay.
Hey,
Talking about the tired shoes.
Jazzo. Yo, Sean Carter at Jay-Z. Daniel was on Jazz. That was bro. I need to hear what was the reason why he came up with. Did it really come from Jazzo?
Yeah, because his name was Jazzy before, right? It was Jazzo.
And I want to hear that lost verse, Ether, that Scarface talked about. That's what I want to hear.
I heard about that verse before too.
He said Nas changed the whole.
Yeah, he was going crazy.
He was
talking about the Aaliyah joint and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he say he wished Dame Dash was on the plane or something like
that?
Yeah,
yeah, some shit like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff off that album though that got edited out.
Nas is a mean guy, man. He's mean.
Yeah.
Don't start. We're not doing this tonight, Trill. We're not doing it. Stop.
Yeah.
We're not doing this tonight.
All right. So who Drake put on?
It was Party Next Door, right? The Weeknd?
Roy Woods.
You give him a Weeknd?
Division.
Yeah. The Weeknd shit is tricky because if you ask the Weeknd early on, he said he wouldn't be on without Drake. That's what that means.
Then he put on that club going up on a Tuesday, nigga.
Yeah, Mark or whatever his name is, Mark or something.
Now those the Weeknd and Party Next Door. That's the ones that really on. They only matter.
Somebody who down there? Steve. But that's it. That's what we giving them. All right.
Yeah.
Biggie.
Y'all didn't say top 5.
I ain't saying no. They ain't even on yet, big. He on the boat. He on the boat. Biggie, Lil Kim,
Mafia,
Kim,
Mace,
C's. Nah, you can't give
him.
Nah, not Mace. Stop it.
You ain't get him M.A. Dollar Sign?
No.
Can we give him Cam?
Because remember,
yes.
He was
yes. They signed Cam, yes.
But the reason why I'm saying Mace is because to the world, the world didn't hear Mace until the 112 joint, the 112 remix that Biggie was on.
But Biggie didn't have nothing to do with putting Mace on that record.
Yeah, that's not his first record, right?
All right, so you put Mace on that song by himself without Biggie on that shit. You checking for it like that back then?
It was already a top 10 hit, damn near. It was a top 15 hit without, you know what I mean?
What?
Like, Mace did his thing.
Was he responsible for the locks?
Yes.
Yo, you know he said on one of the songs on Life After Death, right? Nigga said so bumping Mace shit. Nigga said knocking Mace shit. Basic, hard to hit. That was on Victory, matter of fact. He said that shit. Then
that was on what's it called? That was on Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight, yeah. Nigga said knocking Mace shit. Face it, hard to hit.
He just ran through all the bad boy artists.
Put your re-up. No. This is you talking about Victory. He ran through all the bad boy artists. He just snuck in Mace's name on that joint though. On Long Kiss Goodnight. He snuck it in real quick. We ain't even catch it back then though when he said it though.
Yeah,
knocking Mace shit.
97. You know what Mace was at by 97, my nigga?
Mace had come out to late 97.
Nah, but Trap, you got to remember, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down came out before any of the singles from Life After Death.
Exactly.
Because Biggie's in the video.
It did. Yeah, it did.
Like you bugging on the 112 and all that talk.
No, didn't come out after Life After Death though?
No,
Life After Death came out in March of 97.
Yeah, because the single came out first because it was supposed to be called Puff Daddy's Hell Up in Harlem. And Big was supposed to executive produce the album, but then Big ended up dying. They drop Life After Death, and then it becomes No Way Out.
So y'all caught that Mace bar though when you first heard it?
Yes.
Nigga, Mace was a star the first moment we saw that nigga rapping in Times Square, nigga. We saw that nigga on the Deuce with the red Yankee on. Like, oh, I thought it was Lil C's.
Bro, the nigga had the Feel So Good record with Kelly Price. He had the Want You Want record with Total. Like, you bugging. Looking at Me. Well, that's 98, though.
So that's Puff then,
And
you saying?
Outside of hip hop, so first time I heard Carl Thomas was on the Biggie joint. So do we give him Carl Thomas?
Fuck no.
Nah, first time I heard Carl Thomas was on Nori album. Take That Back. I Love My Life was when I first heard Carl Thomas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You saying I Love My Life?
That's crazy. Biggie joint came out a year before that.
Initially, it was Nas. Originally they had Nas singing the hook.
I remember that. I remember they had Nas singing it.
And then they put Carl Thomas on. That's the first time I heard Carl Thomas.
Yeah, Nas wrote the hook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original I Love My Life, Nas did it. Because Nas was Nori's manager initially.
Jungle was his manager.
They took Nas off it because they didn't want, and that's the funny part where y'all know I've been known to say yay with all the features, this and the third, but you got to remember there was a time in rap and hip hop where, yeah, you might have been affiliated with someone like we're going through, but what people were conscious of is we know Nori with Nas, but we're not going to let Nas be all over. Like, it's the opposite of what Jay Electronica did. Like, Jay Electronica, we know you close with Jay. You got Jay all over your project. Like, niggas didn't do that back in the days.
Niggas fix that up though. Yeah, clean it up though. It wasn't Nas wasn't the manager. It was his brother was the manager though. So that they had him right there. My knees signed real quick.
Wait a minute.
Jungle was the manager.
Managed Nori early.
No, Jungle was his manager.
Yeah, it was Jungle. Maybe Nas did it early, but I know like when Anwar, that shit was coming out, it was Jungle.
Yeah, because Trap, when you go back to that video when he's like, Nas never had a fight in his life, and dude before that asked him, he's like, yo, what happened to you and Nas? He said, yeah, Nas used to be my manager, but yo, he started playing himself. And that's like, Nas don't want it. He was like,
listen, my bad thing. I forgot that was your neighbor, so you wouldn't know better than me though. I forgot, but you still be shitting your neighbor though. That should be crazy.
No, I don't, because I know Hennessy straight with tomato juice don't go, but that's another conversation. The whole another conversation.
Yo, son, when he broke down, when he finally broke down what a cocker spaniel was, B, I said, this nigga's a genius, B.
He is not a genius. We got to stop throwing this word around, man.
Genius, B.
Hennessy straight with tomato juice.
You're drinking it with tomato juice, bro.
That's a Bloody Mary with the Hennessy, and that's all that is. Mary.
Would you stop? No.
That's all that is, B. Neptune's I got a cocker spaniel.
Hold up, the one that we killing him about now, because one of his most legendary bars was, I don't even drink like that, I sell crack. And nigga, you got a show called Drink Champs. Like, what are you doing, my nigga? Like, come on.
Yo, that was the hardest line. Hold on, you was there. Dang, you remember the hardest line from that CNN album, B? What was the hardest line that everybody mentioned? I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, though, too. That man said, I put the bogey out in your face. Let your face lay like ashtray face.
Favorite guy out of my way. Get a God to space.
That was it.
Above ways.
That was it.
Right here, right there.
He arrived. He arrived right here when he said that.
Nigga shut it off right there. CNN, War Report.
Since
we got saying here, let's get the clarity too. You know we started Iraq. You know we started that first thing. I'm gonna leave that one alone too.
I know. Now listen. Leave that alone. Yeah, I respect Nori so much though for the fact that he made sure. Like he knew that going to link up with what's his name with Capone and going over there and like I think it was coming from I think he might have said like because Mike Geronimo, I think he might not have did it. You know what I'm saying he ain't let it be known he was from Flushing and shit. He was coming. It was somebody else though too.
We had drama with Mike Geronimo on them though. Them niggas from Colden.
Yeah, the Colden niggas. I know. Royal Flush.
Royal Flush though. Shout out to Royal Flush. He kind of eased that over the years and
governor
cleared that drama up.
That's my guy. But Nori said, one thing he was gonna do was let niggas know that he wasn't from Queensbridge. That was one thing.
But then you let niggas tell it he running with the murder unit niggas in the Bronx, and that's another conversation. So we don't leave that one alone. Yeah, you're not from the bridge, but you got some people that really think he was from the Bronx. Like that's how much he stayed up. You know what I'm saying with them niggas. So it is.
But that was probably later on. No, that might have been later because at first he was in the Left Rack, dude.
So by the second album, third
solo album. By the second solo album.
Yeah. The third album, he was strictly Murder Unit, like for real. That's who he was running with.
They was wilding out there though too. At that time, they was white. What happened? They ain't got moved down? Yeah, Dane the only that, yo, bro, that's why I fuck with Dane, because Dane that tell you that was his neighbor, that was his man. That was Pop. He know about Poppy. What happened to Dane? You know about Pop, but Dane would say, yo, Nori trap. I be like, you can't do that, bro. Like, he like, nah, that's his man though. Word. But all right, so let's get back to the what's the name. Let's see what the list is. Who was that? That was Big. Pac. Go ahead, Trill.
Outlaw.
Outlaw niggas, fucking all the niggas that was on that Thug Life. What was their name when it was on that Thug Life volume?
So
One
much
album.
trouble in the
I don't
world.
even remember them nigga names.
Talking about what was their name? What were their names? Trill know their names. I know Big Psych. Who else? Who else in the Thug Life? I don't know.
Gaddafi?
No, that was Outlaw. No, I
No,
know
they was
Outlaw.
Outlaws. Yeah.
That's right.
Or Napoleon, Gaddafi. Who else was in the They was all dictators.
Fatal Hussein was the only one that was actually
Fatal
dope.
Hussein.
Fatal
Fatal
was dope.
Hussein.
Rest of them niggas was.
But
They all sound the same.
I don't remember who the hell them niggas was. Who the fuck was the Thug Life niggas?
Big Psych.
Big Psych.
Who else?
Damn, some other nigga with braids.
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Some Crip niggas. some Crip niggas from Inglewood.
Glasses probably know theirs.
Yeah,
Glasses probably know all of them.
Glasses got their mixtapes and everything.
Glasses
got their solo albums.
Somebody said Big Psych passed away. I'm hoping.
Big Psych passed away a couple years ago. Probably damn, is that 2019?
There you go. I'll tell you who's in it right now. The members was
his brother was in it too. The dark skinned nigga with the glasses.
I didn't know none of these dudes.
Oh, you talking about you talking about
Mopreme.
Yeah, the one that was on that Tony joint.
Yeah.
Mopreme was in the group. Yeah, Mopreme was in the group. Macadashi.
Who?
Oh,
and the Rated R.
Macadocious.
Oh, this is Stretch.
Yeah, Stretch was in it too. He was part of it. So y'all putting them on? He put them on? He put them on.
But they was ass though. The only niggas only bought that album because of Pac. No one bought the album to hear Big Psych.
Shit got one of Pac's best songs of all time on that shit.
What you talking about?
What's the name?
I don't in the audience. I bet he know all of them too.
Skinny nigga. What was it?
Talking about Straight Ballin'.
Straight Ballin'.
Yeah, Straight Ballin'.
That's a top 5 Pac song to me. To me, that's a top 5 Pac song.
Probably.
Pour Out a Little Liquor was on that joint too, wasn't it?
Yep.
That
was on the soundtrack. That was Above the Rim.
I thought it was on one of them was on both the soundtrack and Thug Life.
I know
that might be one of my favorite songs by Pac, dude.
I know How Long Will They Mourn Me with Nate Dogg was on there.
Yeah.
I thought Pour Out a Little Liquor was on there.
It might. I could check the track listing, but I remember that being on the.
I thought Thug Life was on there. Fame.
Little bad motherfucker with a pocket full of rocks.
Still got it up.
That's
that was my favorite Pac songs for a long time, dude. Like that was my shit right there, dude. All right, so
that's the joint you put on when you got the jukebox at the pool hall. You put on that Straight Ball.
That's a fact.
So the old heads reminisce.
That's a fact. That's my joint. It came out in '94. Yo, that's what's so crazy is that Pac, bro. Pac was in the game for a while, dude. He was in the game for a while. Like it took Pac, like when his first album came out, what, 92?
I think 91.
Like 91, right? Yeah, I thought it was 91. Yeah.
Then he probably came out another album, 92. Then this came out
91 and 93. Because it was 91 and 93. Yeah.
91, 93.
And
then it took off.
Thug Life 94.
He went through the what's name shit. Then he went through the trial that went to jail. When he came home in what? 90 into 95?
He came at the end of 95. Like
end of
95,
right?
Yeah.
And then the what's name dropped. He was locked up. What's name dropped when he was locked up. The Me Against the World dropped when he was locked up in 95.
Yeah, that was 95, yeah.
And then it was like, you know what I'm saying? So it took him what? Like, when would you say he took? Well, the movie started coming out though too. Juice came out when?
Juice came out with 92.
Juice came out 92, right? The beginning of 92.
92, yeah, 92, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Poetic Justice came out. No, Poetic Justice first. That was like 93. And then Above the Rim was 94.
Yep.
That was crazy. They go Dame back. Yo, that's a crazy run, B. Like, that's a crazy run. Like, you dropped your albums, 91, 92, your movie career start. And every movie he put out was a good movie. Like, people was going to see him. He was going to see every movie.
Juice, he was a better actor first. I feel like Pac rapping caught up with his acting in '95.
That's a fact.
Like,
niggas wasn't going to see the movies track because a lot of them they wasn't showing everywhere. No real talk.
Well, you know where I live at. They showed them over there. Let me tell you something, Dave.
I had Elwood right up the block.
No, I'm saying right there. Remember, we had 2 movie theaters over there at one time. We had the movie theater that was on one side of Hard Charlie that would go towards y'all. The five movie joint though, they showed all those movies.
So we didn't get Gridlock. Like a couple of them.
Oh no, we didn't get Gridlock. No.
Like Above the Rim, yes, but like Gridlock, and then that other joint he did with the Rooney dude. Them joints never hit.
We didn't get those. Nah, we didn't get those. You're right about that. I'm talking about Above the Rim, Juice, Poetic Justice. We got those right there.
Yeah, we got those. Yes,
we got those. Yeah, Gridlock and all that.
Y'all mentioned the Outlaws. Y'all trying to front on Hussein Fatal and all of them. Remember, they were all named after dictators. That's how I remember how they went.
That's how I remember them too.
Yeah, Fatal was the hardest one. Like outside of Fatal,
that was the one from Jersey.
They all sounded the same.
They was all from Jersey, I think.
They was all
from Jersey, I believe.
No, one from Brooklyn. Idi Amin from Brooklyn.
I'm about to say Idi Amin, Hussein Fatal.
You put YouTube videos out, I be seeing.
That When We Ride record actually wasn't that bad.
I don't think I got no record from Outlaws that I really like. It ain't with Pac.
Yeah, you do. Staring at the world through my rear view.
But I'm saying I said without Pac on it though. I mean without Pac on it.
Fatal's solo album was okay. It was kind of a disappointment because he was supposed to be one of the next niggas up in like that class of '98 with X and all them, or '97.
Didn't a lot of them dudes get killed too?
Fatal died in a car accident later on, like in the 2010s. Yaki died after Pac, like right after Pac, right like a month or 2 after.
Yeah,
I think he was run around to he saw the shooter. Some people thought he got killed.
Yeah. He said he the one that witnessed it. He actually got killed by one of his homies on accident, just on some high drunk shit. That was Pac's godbrother. I mean, that was his godbrother. Because that's what's his name's son. His pops just got released from prison.
You talking about Mo Preem?
Nah. That's Matulu Shakur. I'm talking about damn, what's his name? I can't think of his name. I know he came to the book club in Brooklyn.
I'm about to say Pac's sister's still alive though, right?
Yeah, that's the one that controlled the estate.
Yeah.
Oh wait, isn't Mo Preem related to Tupac too?
Yeah. That's his stepbrother.
Yeah. That's Matulu's son. Yeah.
Just like his pops too.
All right, so that's it for Pac though. Thug Life from the Outlaws.
Yeah. Who else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think nobody else.
Because you ain't giving him no digital. You ain't giving him Digital Underground. Put him on.
So they put him on.
Yeah, Digital Underground put him on. Richie Rich was already on.
Wait, I got one. Because
Bree was out before Pac. Bree was out before Pac.
For years, I thought Casey was singing the hook on this, but in fact, it's Dave Hollister.
Yeah, you just told me that with that. You told me that too.
Oh, Brendan's Got a Baby.
Yeah.
He did Brendan's Got a Baby too.
He did Brendan's Got a Baby. He did another one too.
It was Dave Hollister, yeah.
That's Dave Hollister?
Look. Yeah,
that's Dave Hollister.
My whole life, I thought
that was shit, I didn't know that.
It's in the credits.
Yeah, he was originally with a group called Force One Network. They had a song on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack called Spirit. It was actually a dope song.
Of course, saying keeping up with all the local Chicago shit.
Mm-hmm.
we ain't care about them open mic groups.
No, my ex-wife was friends with his first baby mama. Her name was Yolanda.
That's the one he made that song about, baby mama drama.
Donald, hit my phone, Donald. Hit my phone. I told you to do it the last time. I know Tennessee last time, but I hit my phone. What was I say? All right, so Pac done that. So who let's get this long list that 50 did, B. Let's go. 50.
No, nobody.
How are we going
crazy? You crazy. No, but it's the list we're going through the list that Kanye said. We're trying to figure out. That's what it was.
What's the list, Trump? What y'all going over, Trump?
So we went through the list that Kanye put out saying that Ye list of the 12 kings of rap. So he mentioned Wayne, Ye, Jay, Drake, Biggie, Pac, 50, M, LL, Run DMC, Nas, Rakim. You know, you left Kendrick out. So we were saying that first question was, who you taking out to put Kendrick in? That was the first question we asked. We couldn't really come up with an answer for that though. But then now we just trying to figure out who like who did all these kings right here, who did they, because you know kings put people on, you know what I'm saying, put people in position. So we trying to figure out who put the most people in position though, basically. Or who do they put in position like that? Position of power, like, you know what I'm saying, have good careers.
Y'all think Snoop should be on that list?
I definitely thought Snoop should be on it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Snoop disrespect is crazy, bro.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah, I
wonder why he
should have
didn't
been on
put
there too. Yeah, I thought Cube should.
I think Cube, yeah, but yeah, I don't know if he, because now we got 3 West Coast people now.
But Cube run in the early '90s was crazy, man.
He just basically shitting on the West end. Look at the list.
How he put
what,
Pac on there.
Pac?
Yeah, they love Pac.
But Pac is obvious. Like if you don't put Pac on the list,
Snoop Dogg should be on there for sure. Snoop Dogg should definitely be on there.
Yeah, he didn't put no West Coast artists on the list. I'm looking at it I'm just realizing that right now. I think Snoop should definitely be on it too. Cube, who you taking out to put Cube in?
Anybody?
50?
50 is the
Why you keep going at 50 for?
You ask me anyone, I'm gonna say 50. You gotta put Cube over 50. It's not even close. I think Cube had a better run. The niggas he put on, to me, that West Side Connection album is better than the G Unit album.
No.
And Mac 10 probably had a better career than them niggas from G Unit. Stayed, because Game left. And Game
Mac 10 does not have a better career than Lloyd Banks, bro.
Mac 10 had a good career.
Mac 10 had his own label. Mac 10 put glasses on.
Career.
Mac 10 had his own label. Come on. And he married T-Boz. Who Lloyd Banks married?
You saying he had a better career than anybody that 50 put on? He had a better career than Game?
50 ain't put Game on, and Game left. Like Game did one album with 50.
That's
he did
not Game,
99% of his career without 50.
What?
You credit Dre with Game more than 50.
Yo, bro, if 50 did not stand next to fucking Game at that time, B, that niggas wouldn't have been checking for no damn Game, B. Like, cut it out.
That's not true, Trap. That's not true.
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
It's not true.
Okay. So then why did Dre go and tell him that then? Why did Dre go tell him, yo, listen, go, yo, give him one, B. You know what I'm saying? So we could get him out there. This. Why Dre ain't just do it?
That's been Jimmy Iovine That's been Jimmy Iovine formula for years. Whoever he signed, he just puts him with the most productive production company at the time. So he's done that forever. He does that with TDE now. He did it with Death Row back then. Like every artist that usually comes to those companies, a lot of them are handed over to him the same way he handed Eminem to Dr. Dre. It ain't no different.
So you telling me that Game, because Game was sitting up on the shelf.
Not necessarily. He was already moving around in the circuit in LA. He had dropped a couple records through JT the Bigger Figure, who was like a big fixture on the West Coast in terms of putting out independent albums. He was buzzing like crazy on the West Coast. Honestly, like right when he did Certified Gangster, I want to say either he had just linked with G Unit or he hadn't linked with G Unit yet. But yeah, no, he had his own little buzz prior. And Buck was signed to Juvie before he was signed to 50.
Yeah, I know that. I'm gonna send Donald
Is that why Juvie won't speak on Buck?
Yeah.
You know what happened with that lake? What's going on with that? He really got mad.
They was on. Yeah, I guess they was on tour together, and 50 met.
He met the other dude too.
He met Buck and DT.
Was it DT? Yeah, DT. Yeah.
Yeah, he
what was the other dude named Wacko or some shit? Right? Was another dude that rap with Buck though back then? That was what's name?
Nah, you talking about Skip and Wacko? Those was the dudes that did the Know You Clap. Those was Juvenile.
Yeah.
But no, I guess Juvenile had him signed first, and 50 met Buck on Juvenile's bus, and Juvenile ended up leaving him because he was hanging out with 50. So of course
I
Juvie
sent it
think
to
he
you.
a sucker and Buck think he a sucker. You know how that go.
Yeah. So I don't know, y'all. That's the first time hearing that. I say this like this, right? In my eyes, I seen it as 50, you know what I'm saying? Stood by him, you know what I'm saying? And gave him a couple records, you know what I'm saying? That was big records on the album. And then, but the thing I give the game though was the fact that he showed that he could stand alone though. He ain't need 50 though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he ain't need him at all.
He
That's
definitely
why.
needed 50. Come on,
No,
Trap.
he didn't. No, he
Nah,
didn't.
Oh my
nah.
God.
He
No, he didn't.
he continued to make good bodies of work,
Yeah,
Lex.
yeah,
No, no,
exactly.
no, no. He continued to make good bodies of work, but he initially needed 50. What are we
No, to
talking
start
about?
off, to start the engine up, yeah,
Oh,
I agree with to start the engine
Yeah.
up. But I'm just saying going further. You know what I'm saying? When that document, when that the Doctor's
Doctor's
Advocate came
Advocate.
out, like it showed. Like it showed, like, all right, he know that he got the formula, he know what to do. He know how to do it. All right, he could do it on his own. And from that point
okay.
on, like, yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, to start the engine up, yeah. And like Lake said, like they was using, like that was the best thing they could do. Is 50 was hot as fish grease at that time. Did he get in? There you go, Donald. Yeah, he was hot as fish grease at the time.
You know,
So
he was able to maintain a substantial career without being associated with 50.
No, I agree with
Who,
that. I agree. I
who,
checked for every
who
album
y'all,
after 50. I agree
to
who
my
with
y'all
that.
game.
talking to?
To my game.
Oh yeah, the game. Yeah, matter of fact, shit, the game,
Yeah, it's
the
essential.
game, Levy Jew Unit was a blessing for the game. In
Yeah,
disguise, if you think about it, that
that's a
shit
fact.
was a blessing. You kind of look at the careers that Young Buck, Hot Rod, Spider Low, Lloyd Banks, and all them have. Tony Yayo even being loyal to them niggas. I say it was actually a blessing in disguise. Right? It's just that he just started becoming self-destructive with his own antics. Like Game leaving G Unit is somewhat semi-equivalent to Ice Cube leaving NWA. We didn't know how both them niggas was gonna do after they left them powerful movements at that time. Even if we liked it, we didn't know how it was gonna happen. Like their credibility was on the line to see if they can establish themselves after leaving groups like that. They're successful. Hey, because a lot of people don't do that shit. Like Chingy left DTP and didn't have the same career after that. Like even
I don't see how it's similar, bro.
yes, it is
Ice
because
Cube left NWA for some contractual shit. He felt like he was getting jerked, and
okay.
fucking
But you
Game
can
wanted
play.
to play both sides.
But what do you mean? Game wanted to play both sides.
You don't remember what was going on? All right, I don't want to go back in
Okay,
history, but all
I,
right.
I I remember what was going on, but
Now,
what
what I would say though is Ice Cube was more of an integral part of NWA. Like Ice
Right.
Cube was the best pen in the group. Game wasn't the best pen in G Unit. Like we barely knew the nigga, but by the time because you gotta
He
imagine
wasn't
he
even on
left G
the
Unit.
G Unit album like that. Was he on the G Unit album?
He's
He
not on
wasn't
the
on
he
the
was,
album.
album.
He's in the
but he
video
was
for
a
We
mo,
Get to Know You.
Yeah.
He's not on
but he
any
was a
song on the album. And with him, he left G Unit right after his debut album came out. We didn't even get to really know Game as being a part of G Unit like that. So
okay,
I
but
wouldn't compare
it's
it to
still
Cube, nigga. Cube
it's,
was
it's still
NWA.
it's still similar to Cube because they both left groups at the height of their success, and like I said, their credibility was on the line. Like people was actually questioning if Cube can actually have a solo career after NWA. The same thing with Game. His credibility was on the line. They wanted to see if he
Yes,
can
I
make a
get it
song.
now. Thank you, Donald. Thank you for
You know
making
what
the
I'm saying?
connection. Now I get it. You
Yeah,
right
like
about that.
they credibility was on the line, just like the same thing with Game. When Game left G Unit, niggas was like, can he make hits? Can he make a song without 50? Can he have a sustaining career without 50? The only difference between Ice Cube is Ice Cube went off to do movies and basketball leagues and shit like that. The Game just stick to rapping, but when it came down to that, it is similar to Cube.
I mean,
Because like I said,
I understand what you're saying. Like the premise of them leaving what was seen as the hottest group in the world and people not knowing what would come about of them. But I just think the situation was a little bit different because I just feel like Ice Cube was a way bigger part of NWA than Game was of G Unit. Like he just started coming around. Like he like that cousin that you meet at 18. It's like this nigga say fuck the family. Well, shit, I only knew the nigga from one Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's how they treated him for sure.
but he was the most successful. He was basically the black sheep of the family that was more successful than everybody in the family. So you said, fuck this nigga. Who else gonna bring the good food to the barbecue? Who else gonna pay for the barbecue? Y'all niggas.
EBT.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, yeah, he wasn't the cousin like he fucked him, but it's like but he was the cousin that was kind of like the black sheep of the family. You didn't fuck with him, but he ended up being more successful than everybody in the family. And when you left, you started realizing like, damn, he was more successful than us. He was basically like Terry from Soul Food. He basically financed all the cooking, all the food at the house and all that shit, even though he was the outcast. And they realized that once Big Mama passed away, they needed that bread. And unfortunately, that was the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you might not fuck with me, but who else is funding these whole cookouts, barbecues, and shit that y'all having in all these family reunions?
All right. So that was we said with 50. 50 was Lloyd Banks, Buck, Yayo.
He didn't put Buck on, bro.
Oh, he ain't put Buck on. All right, yeah, right. Well, I ain't hear Buck until I probably did though. I probably did.
Well, no.
He didn't discover Buck, but he put him on.
Yeah. I heard Buck was Juvenile, dog.
He was with Juvenile.
It was Juvenile. If you listen to the mixtapes that Juvenile did with Wu Kid, he was on some of them tracks and shit. Yeah, he was though. I ain't gonna lie. Him, Skip, and Wacko, and all them niggas.
Yeah. All right. So we don't get.
But I think discovering somebody, I think discovering somebody and putting them on is two different things. Like we could say Juvie discovered Young Buck, but I don't think unless you was listening to the motherfucking mixtapes with Juvenile, which I imagine the majority of the country wasn't, you didn't know who the fuck Young Buck was until you heard him on Bloodhound.
And that to that point, Trill, that's like the Drake part, whereas Jay Prince's son found him, but Wayne put him on. And then they just started getting extorted. But that's another combo.
That's another combo right there. All right, so Eminem.
Obi Trice, real name.
Obi Trice.
Real name, no gimmick.
Man.
That album was fire. That album was fire. You bugging right now.
You don't like Obi Trice?
That shit was a hot pack of ass.
That shit was terrible. I like the Cheers album.
No, Cheers was a cold album. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Cheers was not cold.
Cheers was that shit, man. Y'all
I'm gonna go back and check it again. Cheers was a dope album.
He had some shit on there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it did. Cheers was all right. Yo, you know, Lake's a tough critic, man. He's a tough critic over there, man. He said
he had a couple joints on there.
The new joint I heard too though today too. The Jack and the Doja joint though.
Doja Cat.
Yeah, that's what was that. Who else? We got D12.
You got D12. You got D12. You got him.
What about Royce? What do we do with Royce?
Did he put 50 on Trap?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You ain't gonna count that, but you gonna count 50
he
for
ain't put
everybody
50
else.
on. Nope, he ain't put 50 on.
Who put 50? All right, hold on. So somebody just gave a
Jam
definition of
Master
what?
J.
Hold on 1 second. Somebody just said the definition of putting somebody on and discovering. Did Jam Master J discover him and did Eminem put him on?
No. 50.
You gonna move the goalpost for your answer.
Trap Masters put him on. Trap Masters put him on.
You got a good point there too.
And then
he didn't pop with Track Masters, but go ahead.
That's true too.
What you mean?
All these things can be true.
Though. Also, the Mad Rapper did then. The Mad Rapper put him on.
Exactly.
I thought you did that. But yeah, all right. So Puff put him on there? What you trying to say? Nah.
But really Jam Master J is who put him on, bro.
Yeah, Jam Master J put him on. He was on matter of fact, Onyx put him on. He was on the React remix.
But they was signed to Jam Master J.
They were signed to JMJ.
Jam Master J.
You said who is he?
Wait, hold on. What'd you just say, sir?
Hold him down. Hold on.
Yeah, he got to get off, bro. That's my nigga. He tripping, bro.
Let me find him real quick. You got to go down.
Just say it like this, Jay Will. He's on this list. Jam Master J is on this list.
Yeah, Jay.
You don't know who Jam Master J is, man?
Nah, man. I never heard y'all talk about that nigga.
I mean, y'all gotta remember the nigga's only 19.
Yo, Jay, he not serious.
He was born in 2014.
It
don't matter.
We ain't stalling him out, homie. He's supposed to know who that shit is, bro. Some shit you just supposed to know, bro.
I've never heard y'all talk
Nah,
about
give him
Jam
grace,
Master
man.
Jay
Because
a,
when I
a
be
You
day
with
ain't
the
before
never
he
heard.
dropped
YNs
the
and I
music.
ask
Nah, ain't no
questions,
give him. Nah, that's my
nah,
nigga. But
Smurf been giving me
he
grace
gotta
when I
know
be
who
running
Jam
with the
Master Jay
YNs
is
and
at
I
this
don't know
That's
conversation.
somebody.
Yeah.
DMC, J.
He
Will.
tell me.
The DJ. That's a DJ, J. Will. But
Run
Like when they be
DMC.
playing amongst us and I don't know what they talking about, he take his time and he explain it to me. So we got to do the same. That's the only way we're gonna bridge the gap. We got to get them the same love they give us.
So Jam
No,
Master
I
Jay
ain't
is a
bridging the
New
gap when
York
it comes to that.
he's
Dang,
a
he
New
been
York
GP'd on that. There
DJ.
ain't no stalling out. Get that, homie. Get that,
call
man.
him
You don't
out.
know who Jam Master is. You don't know who Damn is. You don't know who Jam Master Jay is, dog.
Yo, y'all gotta remember, like we really are old head time machines because we witnessed so much in hip hop. You gotta remember some of these people when they're born, and again, regardless how people love the cap, and I remember and I was 6. No. Let's all be real. If we pick the age of 12 when you should know this and you start remembering, you gotta look at where people were. So when things were happening, like for me, dude, I just came home from Texas the day after Trap Jam Master Jay got killed. It was on the cover of every newspaper, October 30th in New York City. That's 2002. So I'm grown. I'm 24 years old.
That's the
But
year J.
you
Will
take
was
somebody
born.
else in 2002, where like no explanation, Steve, what was you in 2002? 6? You know what I'm saying? Like we have to always give context when we do go down these rabbit holes of history and artists and the content we're talking about. And when people ask those questions, I mean, they get offensive when we say, yo, how old are you? But we have to normalize really getting people's age to understand so we can talk to their level because sometimes we take it for granted because some of us have been through 5, 6 generations of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like I laugh when people say, yo, Biggie's old school. And I'm like, y'all niggas think Biggie's old school? Like,
Wow.
I'm with Kool Moe D and them niggas. I'm with Melly Mel and them niggas gotta be dinosaurs then. If Biggie and Pac is old school, then them other niggas is dinosaurs. Like, respectfully.
Yo, Dane, I realized how old I was. When I was locked up, it was a dude that had been down since '98. And there was these young kids in the cell next to him, and they used to always clown him, like, you only listen to old school shit like Mobb Deep and DMX. Mind you, this is 2012, and I got a realization, like, hold up, I'm getting old. Like, I
Yeah,
never heard no one say DMX and Mobb Deep was old school. Like,
right, right.
But this a thing, no. Some shit you just got to know, dog. Some
Yeah.
Yeah,
shit you
but we
just
talking
got to
about with
know.
time, like Donald, right now,
All
like
right, check this out.
my son is 12, right? These early stages of hip hop. Say my son get to 15, what do you think he gonna know LL Cool J from? He's not gonna know
CSI.
him from rap. Exactly. He's not
But
gonna
at
know
least
him
he,
from rap.
but at least he know the nigga. That's the
Yeah,
whole.
but
At
he
least
gonna know him from the movies and CSI. He not gonna know from I'm Bad.
I understand that, but that's up to us to do that because ain't nobody making no life stories about LL Cool J. But that's just like a kid telling me he only know Ice Cube for rapping, but he didn't see Straight Outta Compton that showed him being a rapper, and
Right.
it's a recent movie. It's some shit you just
That's
gotta
fair.
know, dog. Some shit
But
I'm
you
with
gotta
you
Dane,
on
like.
that.
Dane, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
That would you think that'd be the equivalent of say a young cat told you he was in the jazz, but told you he didn't know who Coltrane, Miles Davis, or Charlie Parker was? Wouldn't that be equivalent to that?
No, because I think what we have to equate to it, as we know, their attention span. You got to remember how much is Coltrane coming on their algorithm? How many of them are understanding Coltrane's importance to the culture? Now they just don't. Like there's a video, right? No, true story. There's a video of Akeem Olajuwon pulled up to John Lucas workouts last year. Now this is real dream. His son play. He's in there showing the kids like low key the dream shake, and they're looking at him like, "Yo, who's this African dude?" Like
Hmm.
they have no. And this is in Houston. Keep
That's
in mind, this is
wild.
in Houston, Texas. So it's like, wait a minute, you don't know who Akima, and then you really have to say, you know what? Hold on, let me go back for a second. Let me understand again. Attention span is short. Dream is not talked about just every day like LeBron, like Jordan. Like again, people know Jordan for sneakers. They've never seen him play. Think about that. You have a generation of people that have never seen Michael Jordan play. They think Charles Barkley is just some fat hating dude on television. They've never seen him play.
But this is there ain't no joke. But this ain't no. You gotta think about it. You gotta take into consideration. ain't nobody really making documentaries about Hakeem the Dream or Charles
I
Barkley.
agree. I
They
agree.
making documentaries about Jordan, like The Last Dance and all this other shit, and they keep bringing up Jordan and LeBron debates. So it's kind of like one of those. Even though I might not see this dude play basketball, I'm gonna know that he was a basketball player at least. Everybody should know this
But
nigga's a
Donald,
basketball player.
let's bring it back to music, right? You got some young people, maybe even Smirk. They've never seen outside of the hip hop holiday, the 50th anniversary. They've never seen Run DMC perform together. Think about it. You rarely see Run and Run and D together doing shows.
I don't think age gives you a pass to lack the information, bro. Just because you got to understand, like, just first of all, if this is your passion and you having an argument or a discussion about this shit, you got to be
Hmm.
informed. Like,
True.
bro, I wasn't born in the '60s and '50s, my nigga. But listen, when I used to play music, my mom, when I played It Was a Good Day, my mom would be like, "Yo, this is where it came from," and she would play the Isley Brothers and just shit like that.
Hmm.
And just my intrigue into wanting to know about music made me go study and do the research. I'm not supposed to listen to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes or Otis Redding or any of that, bro. But I know that shit just because this is my passion. So I'll be saying when we had these passionate arguments about the shit, niggas got to be informed, bro. And age can't be your excuse, my nigga.
No,
Like,
I
like I know the same basketball excuse you giving, bro. My son plays baseball. He's 17 years old. He watches videos of old motherfuckers that were good. He watches old lefties just to see how lefties pitched from the 80s and the 90s, and he doesn't have to. I'm just using him as an example. Like I don't
correct.
I don't think having that naivete just because of your age doesn't give you an excuse, bro. I don't
No, no,
think
no.
so. And I'm
AJ,
not saying
I'm
you should
with
be the
you.
most informed either, but you in a room full of niggas that talk
You
hip
should
hop
know.
and
I
they and
agree.
they and they scream from the top of the mountain with a megaphone. Not just speaking about him because I fuck with Jay Will. I'm just saying a lot of kids from that generation scream from the top of the mountain, bro, with a megaphone. You know what I'm saying? And
But
don't even have the background information, my nigga.
right,
Like
I
that's
think
like you not knowing history and anything. Like,
I think Jay Will's angle, though, and I'm glad he did it, is
mhm.
his average peer wouldn't do what he did, though. So, because to your point, like, they'll just argue to argue and scream and
Yeah,
be loud instead of them saying, yo, who is that? So I
right.
can accept Jay being vulnerable and really asking and us, instead of the pushback, I mean, we were joking,
Hmm.
but like him learning, and I know him enough that he'll take the time to dig on Jam Master Jay.
For
You
sure.
gotta
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't using him as an
Right.
example. I'm
Like
just
we're
saying.
from the era, like when we not only to speak, me and Sane talk about this all the time. Like you had to show improve. You could not speak unless you were improving the conversation. Whereas
No,
too much
agreed.
now, because everybody got a phone, and it's funny because we had to go through encyclopedias. We had to go through the card catalog when we went to the library. These niggas got all this shit on their phone a button away.
Yeah,
You, you
yeah,
you understand? If I miss the library on Friday, nigga, I gotta either go Saturday morning or I gotta wait all the way to Monday to look for what I'm looking for. So it's a
yeah.
I'm not giving their ages an excuse, but
Hmm.
I'm understanding why somebody might not
No, I
know.
understand why they not know. Yeah, I agree with
Right.
that too.
Like
Yeah,
I'm with you too. Like I'm
yeah.
I'm all big on accountability. But when I understand somebody doesn't know, it's like I do get it.
And I think
They're not students like we were.
a lot of them don't, a lot of them don't want to learn too because I mean, it's the same on the other end. Like, we're not gonna go dig and listen to Yeat or like, you know what I'm saying, or
Hmm.
try to understand why a Playboy Cardi album makes sense. Like, and
Right.
I think that's what a disconnect is on both sides, bro. Like, like the older guys are like, no, you should learn about this, and the young guys are like, no, you should be listening to this, and we like, man, fuck that young shit, and they like, fuck that old shit, and here
Right.
we are.
But I
How, do,
always
how,
tell people though, like that
how long
old
do
shit
we
is still
give them
with
a
us.
pass too? How long do we give them a pass?
I think for you to talk about hip hop and have these discussions, you should have like the general information about this shit, bro. Like you should have some sort of background information when it comes to it. And I think most people that are in these conversations do. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can't penalize somebody for not having one piece of information, but I don't think I just don't like the age things as an excuse. Like I'm 20, like I don't give a fuck. Like
Right.
that shit
Yeah.
ain't got nothing to do with
Yeah.
it, my nigga. I listen to a lot of shit that is not from my age era. You know what I'm saying? Just
No,
because
that's
I'm
a fact.
informed about music, So
No, I think both of y'all are right. We was having this conversation in the group chat, and I was just saying that like older hip hop isn't revered or valued the same way that other genres is. Like if you go to '70s rock, it's almost a requirement if you're a rock fan. Yo, check out some 70s rock, check out some 80s rock, check out some 90s rock. Or if you're an R&B fan, it's like almost required listening. And I don't know if it's just because hip hop is so about the moment. Because like Chuck D said, hip hop is the ghetto CNN. And I was like, well, if that's the truth, going back to listen to something from 1989 would be the equivalent of opening up a National Geographic from 1989 or watching a newscast from 1992. And it's like, well, how relevant would that be to somebody? But I do understand, like, we do live in the information age, so everything is at a finger's touch away. Whereas, like, back in our day, we had to go to the library and look for an old article from a year to find out about something, or look in the encyclopedia before there was a Google, before there was a Yahoo, or before there was an Ask Jeeves to find these things out. And even to Jay Will's credit, when we talk about Jam Master Jay, I mean, we know Jam Master Jay was the DJ from Run DMC, but what's the paragraph about Jam Master Jay that we could really, that any of us could really say? We will say Onyx. We just go say a bunch of artists that he discovered. But outside of that, what's the paragraph for Jam Master Jay if you were going to run that down?
He was responsible.
He was
for
the one, the whole look. The whole
Yeah, he
look.
originated the style of Run
The
DMC.
images,
He was
yeah.
the street. Yeah.
All I'm just saying is this, man. Even if you don't know that, that's cool with me. Just at least know who the man is.
There we go. There we go, Tom. There we go, Tom.
I don't want. You don't need to break down. I mean, I ain't saying this is Jay. I'm just saying this for anybody. You ain't got to break down his influence. You ain't got to know his contributions like that.
But
just
know
at
who he
least
is.
know who he is.
That's fair.
Just know who he is. Like, man, I just know he the dude from Run DMC that was the DJ. Like, for example,
Dirty don't know who motherfucking Jam Master Jay is.
Like for example, like 3 times,
Yo, man, stop playing with me.
like EST for 3 times dope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I was clueless when I heard that dude name. Once the OG talked to me about dude, he was like, yeah, just go ahead and listen to that EST, man. Listen to 3 times dope. I'm like, oh, that was the nigga that was with the Chill Tail Hustlers and all them dudes. Okay.
He was
I
top
started
hustlers,
listening.
that's a fact.
Well, that's one thing I'm
He
gonna
got
say
some
that
white
Jay
greats
Will.
too.
Yeah, he wrote records for Beyonce. Yo,
That's also who Bobby Brown took his whole swag with the Gumby cut. He got that shit
that's
from him.
crazy. That's one thing I say about Jay Will though. If he don't know, if he didn't know before, Jay Will will go back and do his research though. He'll go do his research though and come back and, you know what I'm saying, understand his impact.
Is Lex
He
still
did that
here,
with the
Trav?
Juice Crew. He did that with the whole Juice Crew. He went listen to
So
the whole
Lex, let me
Juice
ask
Crew.
you this respectfully to him, right? Where would you place from a DJing skill, and you may even been to maybe some of the parties back in Hollis, where did Jay, because I always thought he was nice, but where would you put Jam Master Jay in that DJ sphere? Like where would he be at? Top tier, middle tier, what and
Middle
all
tier.
that?
Yeah,
No,
Lex answer this one.
between low and middle tier.
Mm,
My nigga said
okay.
low.
Damn.
Okay.
Was he better than you, Lex?
Fuck no.
Oh my God.
No. Hold on, let me say this. At one point he was, because the first cut you fucking memorize is Jam Master Jay's cuts. Then you
Mm-hmm.
perfect that, and then all of a sudden you hear Jazzy Jeff and Cash Money and all these other weirdo space motherfuckers.
Right.
So you know.
So my Philly.
I respect that, bro.
He got
I
something
respect
against
that
Philly.
honesty.
He got some, he mentioned 2 Philly DJs right there.
Nigga said he was better than Jam Master Jay.
Yo,
You don't even know who that is, Dirty.
Listen,
Dirty, you gotta stop these niggas sometime, bro.
Yo,
I mean,
hold on.
let him feel that
I'm
way,
giving
man.
his credit right now. That man went up against one of the goats of DJing and walked away with his needles. So that's all I'm gonna say, my man.
Who did?
Lex went against Cash Money. West went up against Cash Money.
Where that's at?
And walked away with his needles. Cash Money, remember that? One time I was on a call. Rashad called my phone.
Yeah, he called
my phone with Cash Money on the phone. He because him and Rashad, Lex and Rashad had a debate one day about like who's like, what was it? It's the Transformer.
Yeah, the Transformer
right? So Lex was saying that they were doing the Transformer shit way before the Switch. And I'm saying they created their own box and all that shit. So Rashad calls me with Cash Money on the phone. You know what I'm saying? And Cash Money sits there and tells me the whole rundown of how he came up with the Transformer. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was the first one doing it, this. So I call Lex up. I'm like, hold on, I'm gonna call Lex up real quick. I put Lex on three-way real quick. I put Lex on. I tried to record this shit because the shit was legendary. So now Cash Money sitting there running through, telling Lex, this is how it came about, this, that, this. No matter of fact, I let Lex go first, right? I let Lex start bombing. Yeah, we made that. He didn't know Cash Money was on the phone. Yeah, we made that, this, that, this. I said, so it ain't starting nobody from Philly? Like, hell no, it ain't starting nobody from Philly. Nigga wasn't doing that shit. I said, Joe. So then he's like, yo, Cash Money, you heard him? So they come in like, yeah, I heard what he said. This. So Lex goes, oh, Cash Money on the phone? He like, yeah. He like, oh, all right, yo, Cash Money. Yo,
Don't be trying to play.
No. I'm not gonna play you. No, bro, I'm not playing you at all.
I stood on my shit. All right,
hold on. So then when I told him Cash Money was on the phone, he go, all right, yo, listen, man. Cash Money, you know me, man. I met you one night. I was working security at the spot. What's your man name? I don't want to see your man name wrong because your man passed away. What's his name?
Aronde.
The dude that y'all both know? What's his name?
Aronde.
Like, yeah, I work at the spot with Aronde. Aronde got up on the stage, said, Joe, he said, Cash Money, man. I got my man working security here. I told him we brought the needles through. He could go up against him and battle against you. This, that, this. You want to battle him? Cash Money said, all right, bring him through. This, that, this. So Lex go up on the stage. Lex is working security at the spot at the front door. He comes from the front door to the stage. He comes from the front door working security to the stage and battle Cash Money. And they said back in that time right there, if you battle somebody and you lose, the person that wins walks away with your needles like that.
So that was his only famous battle.
So Lex, I don't know, he probably had another one. So Lex said, I walked away with my needles though. So that showed me right there that, you know what I'm saying? Like Lex got busy. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't give you the
Or
right
Cash
to
Money
say
was
you better
ass, one of the two.
than Jam Master Jay.
Cash Money was ass. Cash Money was dope.
What you say, Dirty?
I said that don't give you the right to say you better than Jam Master Jay.
No, I don't think he said that.
Man, Blake said that
I
when
don't
man
think I
nigga
said
for
that.
You did just say that.
No, I
you ain't
think
gotta
his
agree
hand
with
was
it. That's
Jam
how he
Master
feel.
Jay. He said mid to low. He didn't say he was better than him.
No, I asked him, was he
No,
better
you
than
asked
him?
him if he was better.
Bro,
He said yes,
he
bro.
said he was better than him, bro.
Wait, hold on. Listen. Let me explain something to you, man. The temperature. We're talking about so many fucking L DJs in Queens. We're talking about Terminator X, Johnny Juice. Like you learned. I gave Jam Master Jay his props. You learned those cuts. You memorize those cuts in your brain. I'm sure we all did. And when those cuts play in those records from Run DMC, we all mimic the hand movement. We all know it scratch by scratch. You learn that when you actually get on the turntables. And then after that, it's like there's so many other fucking EPMDs, DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scratch.
Scratch is
Why
nice.
the fuck, huh?
Yeah.
Scratch is nice.
Scratch is nice as
So
fuck.
if you go to Run DM, if you go to learning, watching Jam Master Jay, then you have to deal with Scratch and you're following Scratch. There's no way. If I can mimic Scratch, I'm gonna sit there and lie because I love Jam Master Jay and say he's better than me. At some point, I surpassed him.
You still gotta go up against Rashard. You and Rashard supposed to do that
Yo,
battle. I don't know when y'all gonna do that though.
Like Red Alert's a fucking legend. He can DJ, but he can't cut for shit.
Right. That's possible.
All right.
I don't know
I'll
if you
fuck
better,
Red
but
Alert up. I'll
I
fuck
messed
him
up
up.
though.
Yeah. Come on.
Now you out. Now you out.
Come on. You
Now
gotta
you
get past. You gotta get past DJ Big Rod first though.
I'm
B.
a
We talking
right.
about Red Alert and shit like that.
Do
B.
not pass go. Do not collect $200, man.
You gotta get past DJ Big Rod,
Stop
man.
on Baltic Avenue. You're doing too much.
Word.
You're doing too much.
All right. So we had I think we finished with M. Did L put anybody on?
Hell yeah.
Who L put on?
L put on fucking
DJ Pooh and them, right? LA Posse?
No.
Cat.
Nah, but didn't he have the Bomb Squad first? No.
No, Bobcat I meant.
Only thing LL put on was a fucking Kangol.
Yeah, watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth.
His hairline was keyed, so that's
A
what.
fucking Kangol.
Well, wait a minute. He
Zellier.
put on Keith. Did he put on Keith Murray?
He put on Def Jam.
He didn't put on Keith Murray.
Yeah,
it was on that song though.
He put
no.
Keith Murray
Keith Murray was popping before that.
Keith Murray was popping before that, y'all. Yes, he was, bro.
Hold on, man. Let me
had the most
I think the most beautiful thing probably came
His
out before
beautifulest thing was out.
That's how he got on the remix because he was hot.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Keith Murray.
I think everybody that was on that remix was actually like already like popping already.
Established.
Oxy,
Yes.
Yeah, all of
Foxy
them was
wasn't
already.
out yet. That was Foxy's
who was the
first
niggas
record.
that was singing on the Roundaway Girl? Sane. That was Dave Hollister too.
Nah, what's crazy is that nigga was my Uber driver in New York one day. It was funny as shit.
That's
Dude was singing a
crazy.
song?
The nigga that was
Yo,
singing.
listen, me and
That's
Drum was in the
crazy.
car, bro. And he was like, yo, DJ Drum, a pleasure to meet you. Yo, I'm the nigga that's singing. And this nigga said, I need
You
it. I
sang it
said,
for
yo, just a random Queens nigga. You know, back in that era, they used to just have whoever sing shit. Like
Yeah,
if a nigga just could sing.
my man sang the Coogee Rap joint. He sang
Yeah,
the
nah.
From
my man
Fast Lane?
Sean Brown sang the not the fat the white. I meant to do it sing Fast like before though too, but he sang the It's a Shame. It's
Because
a
the
shame.
chick that did
Yeah,
LL's
my man Sean Brown. It's a shame. My man Sean Brown sang that joint, bitch. Word him up.
the chick that did the LL record, she never got paid for it. She went untitled for the represent Queens, but I'm raised out in
Yeah, you
Brooklyn.
talking about
Oh, the Doing It girl?
Put in the video.
But she
They
did
ain't
the
put in the video or
original.
nothing.
She did the original record because they already
said because she was a
Doing It
Biggie Cheese.
already
They ain't put in the
record.
video.
Yeah, because she was too big.
Yeah, they said
she was a
They
Buffalo
Kelly
Tender.
priced her.
Yeah, they did a
I didn't know
crazy.
she was a Buffalo Tender.
Yeah, they remade her record.
A Buffalo Tender is nuts.
Buffalo Tenders, wow, that's crazy than Biggie Cheese right
wild.
there, B. That's wild. I like him though. I like him like that though.
Look at
Sometimes, you
this
know what I
nigga.
mean?
Sit your ass down. Cat.
Buffalo Tender. Word. All right, so y'all got nobody for L.
Def Jam, like we said, he put Def Jam.
Def Jam. Yeah.
Come on, L ain't worth paper. Ask Russell Simmons who put him up in that
Ask my
skyscraper.
dogs up in Fubu. Who made a major?
Fubu, he put
LL,
Fubu
nigga.
on.
Now who's next? Who need a
Fubu
favor?
on.
Drop a bomb on them.
Fubu.
Remain
Yeah, I
calm.
would agree with Def Jam. He
Hit
put
the
Def
nipples,
Jam
throw
on.
the
I agree with that.
LL charms on them.
He put Def Jam on. It's crazy.
sister with my strobe light blast. You
Yo,
can't
bro,
miss
that
it.
record is an underrated L
Yeah,
record for real.
that is crazy. That nigga say he put
Ill
Def
bomb.
Jam on.
That's the joint that was on the sound. Was that the Violator soundtrack?
No, that was the Tunnel, the Big Cap.
The Tunnel album, yeah, Funk Flex and Big Cap, right?
Big Cap, yeah.
Yeah, that album was quietly good, bro.
Yeah,
it was some shit on there.
Yeah, they had that Hot Boys record that was dope as fuck. They had a couple other records on there that was dope. Flex and Cap got busy on that.
That's a piece, Cap.
Raekwon had a dope record on there too. Same with Mary J. Blige, that Confrontation.
There was a few joints on there. That album was not bad at all.
G Rap and Prodigy.
Was that?
Well, you're talking about the Violator various artists album?
No, we talking about the Funk Flex and the Tunnel album.
The Tunnel album.
Yeah.
You got that album, or you got Kid Capri first album?
Soundtrack to the Streets.
Soundtrack to the Streets, or that album.
I think the Flex had more joints on it, but the Kid Capri had the Nas joint that had the Jay-Z like that.
The Jay-Z joint, yeah, like that joint.
I think Snoop and Slick Rick have a record on there, some shit like that. And then Lost Boys had a joint. I bought the album, but the only shit I really listened to was the Nas and the J record, for real.
Nah, the J record my joint.
It was crazy. Right. Trap. I was talking to Mace about the Flex album the other day. It's crazy. That nigga was able to put a whole album out with niggas freestyles over other niggas beats, bro. That shit was crazy.
That's crazy.
60 minutes of funk.
Yeah, that nigga had a Wu-Tang beat on there. You try that shit now, nigga, that nigga gets sued like crazy.
This what I was thinking, talking about that. I was thinking about how did that Jacket for Beat shit go back in the days when Cube did it? Because they ended up putting that song out there, right?
Back then you didn't have to really clear sample, you know what I'm saying? So you could just use shit, but now ain't no telling.
I thought he was smart about that shit because I was offended when he like used the EPMD and he was like jacking everyone's beats. But then he would like he would like pay homage in a way too. You know, he said, "You're my friend and all, but I will take your shit." So it was cool. I was cool with it. Me myself.
Yeah.
Wasn't that before the sampling case, the Biz Markie joint? That was before that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Biz shit wrapped all that shit up. All right. Run DMC.
Who the Run DMC put on?
Yeah.
You giving them 50?
Yo.
Onyx and 50.
No.
With Jam Master J, right?
That's Jam Master J.
But that's
He's in Run DMC.
He's Run DMC.
He's in Run DMC.
He's in Run DMC.
That's not fair. That's not fair to give credit to Run and D for Jam Master J's.
Why? Because his name not in the group name. That's why.
They were still a group though. They were still a
so
group.
what? They were a group.
When you seen Run and DMC, you seen Jam Master J, B. He just ain't get the name. His name ain't in the title, in the group title. That's it.
When they did Down with the King, they shaved their head bald because of Onyx.
I don't know
They was
about
looking
that.
like old head Onyx niggas. Remember,
I,
never let
I
They
remember
nobody
that.
were.
I
get
remember that.
away
They
with
They
were.
definitely
murder.
were. Yeah, them niggas look
They were.
crazy. Yeah, all black on with boots and
All
shit.
back on with
I
the
hear y'all, but what
they had
about the Beastie Boys?
What'd you
they
say?
might I
What
don't know if
about
they
the
get
Beastie
Beastie Boys.
Boys?
They didn't
They
put
get
the
Beastie
Beastie
Boys?
Boys on.
Nah, that's Def Jam. That's Rick Rubin.
That's
Yeah,
Rick
that's
Rubin.
right.
That's Rick Rubin creation right there.
Wait,
That was around the same time too.
That's Run
Yeah,
DMC.
LL too.
No, it isn't, bro.
Hold on. Run DMC. The first time I see the Beastie Boys, Run DMC is holding their hand, ushering, giving them the validation. Rick Rubin couldn't do that.
That's not
Mm,
true.
Okay.
mm,
All right.
Yes, he
Okay.
mm,
could.
That's not true.
mm.
Because
Okay.
first of all, Lex, if we being technical, Run DMC wasn't even signed to Def Jam. They were signed to
True.
Profile.
Party.
Right.
They was managed by Rush Management. Beastie
Right.
Boys and LL were signed to Def Jam. So they didn't really like hold their hands into that. The Def Jam regime and Rush Management were two totally different things.
No, I agree with that. That's true. I'm telling. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all have that. Okay.
Had to
He
hit him with
trying
his
to say
Queens
that's
facts real
true, like
quick.
he
No,
Trap,
no,
knew
no,
that.
no.
You didn't
That,
know
that I'm
that
just
Trap had
shit.
to
going.
hit him
Like,
with some Queens
fuck
facts.
out
Seen
of
that.
That's
I
not
here.
a
seen that.
fact though. What I'm telling you
Seen
right
that.
now is when they were on MTV, they were featuring Run DMC. Beastie Boys were there. It's the first time it's Run DMC. Rick Rubin wasn't there. How did let me ask you this. How did Rick Rubin usher the Beastie Boys out? How?
New York niggas
How
hate
did they have the
bro.
cachet? Wait. How did Rick Rubin have the cachet to introduce white boys to a
I
black
mean,
culture? How?
on the real, we were still figuring it out, bro. It was early in the game. It was like 6 groups out, my nigga. So nobody had cachet. It was a fucking genre that niggas thought were gonna be gone in 3 years, bro. When this shit first came out, niggas didn't think this shit was gonna last at all. We didn't think we'd be having this conversation. Well, they didn't think we'd be having this conversation right now. They thought this shit was a fad, bro.
What about the Afros?
Oh my God, feel it. That was my
Ever.
shit.
So,
Even though that wasn't that just his brother, the other brothers in the group?
I'm
I'm
trying to
not
see when
even
the first
sure.
time they seen
They
it.
ain't
I
got all
think
their autographs. That's it.
DMT was responsible for them, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Himself.
because
That
his
was just
brother
him,
was in the
wasn't it?
group,
yeah.
wasn't it? Wasn't his brother in the group?
I think so, yeah.
And DJ Hurricane, right? Hurricane
Yo,
had something to do with it.
Mhm. They said the first time the rare interview from Beastie Boys was in 1986. It's a rare interview. Let me see. It's for MTV too.
You not about to wait to make us watch a Beastie Boys.
No, I'm not watching. I'm playing it myself. I want to see they show Run DMC. Now they sitting there by. Hold on, is Rick Rubin sitting there with them?
Does it look like a homeless dude?
Nah, he's not there with them. It's just them three. It's the
Lex,
interview.
where the interview at? You said they Run DMC had to hold their hand. Where's that interview at?
no, that was just a metaphor. What I'm saying is, there is no way Rick Rubin, even at that time when he's dropping LL, he's assisting whoever. We didn't know who Rick Rubin was. We were like, who's this
We
fucking gnarly looking white boy?
we didn't
And
But
know who
then,
Rick
nobody was
Rubin
behind the
produced It's
scenes, bro.
Yours.
all
Rick
right then.
Rubin
So
produced It's Yours.
how can Rick Rubin to the street dude, how can he penetrate and introduce a group to anyone? He didn't even
Rap,
introduce LL.
He produced the first record on Def
yeah,
Jam. It's
That
Yours.
has nothing to
Rap didn't have a face at
wait.
that
That
time,
has
bro.
nothing to do with what I'm saying. I know we all know who did the work
You
behind
trying to say because he white, he couldn't introduce him to him. I'm
I'm
just
not
saying
saying
that
because he's white. Okay, y'all missing my point. Y'all got it. I'm not gonna
nah,
fuss with
tell us
y'all.
your point, bro, so we can
Explain it.
understand it.
Hey,
It's
hey,
very
look,
clear. How
yo,
can
He
the
Lex,
don't
fucking
have a point. That's why you want to
how
hey, yo,
explain
Lex,
can
it.
how can Rick Rubin introduce the Beastie Boys to the world without Run DMC? Tell me how.
Easy. He's a fucking white man that did the beats. Yo, these are 3 white boys that rap. You
hey,
like
hey,
the black shit? These are white boys that do it. Here you
And
go.
where are you getting that from, Lake?
hey, yo, Lex, is you trying to say how much skin did Rick Rubin put in the game to where he had enough credibility or any type of clout to co-sign the Beastie Boys or any other acts? That's what you trying to ask, man?
No, what I'm saying, bro, is that Donald, is that it was strategic. What they did was they had Run DMC, and then when you're going to look for this Run DMC interview, uh, it's the Beastie Boys with them, and they're showing them love. You seen them in
They didn't
the.
have Run DMC though. You stating false facts, bro. They didn't have Run DMC was signed to Profile
That
Records,
has
bro.
nothing to do with what I'm saying. That
But
has no.
didn't Rick
You can
Rubin help
still
put
be
LL
wait,
on?
wait. You can still be on different labels and still be ushered in. What are we talking about, Lake?
But didn't Rick
What
Rubin help put LL on?
he
Run
did?
the Wu
Yeah.
Tang on different labels, right?
Who?
Wu Tang.
What is that? That's not what I'm saying. Like at that stage in their careers, there was only a couple labels, bro, and Def Jam was one of them, right? What I'm saying, you're saying, how could Rick Rubin usher the Beastie Boys in? He could usher them in because he was responsible for a person named LL Cool J, who had came out before him, who was the biggest thing ever. So of course they're gonna take his word into an account because he had just done it with another artist. So why would they not accept his word?
Lake, what I'm saying to no, Lake, we're both right. You just don't
You
agree with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is behind the scene, yes, he can usher them to labels or whatever. What I'm saying, when it came to the community, us, Rick Rubin can't introduce us to shit.
This 1987 right here.
All right.
Jam Master J. Jam Master J right there, J. Will.
Man, that's it. Tried to be sneaking, playing it all.
Okay.
Fucking ass, and he took his clothes off. A nasty girl, a stone cold.
That's DMC, brother.
Is that
Didn't see
my
Hurricane
man,
Brothers.
that Money Ray? No, that's not Money Ray.
He looked just like him.
Oh yeah, I thought DMC and Hurricane were brothers.
Nah. That's all I'm saying. That's all you saw in the beginning was Run
But
DMC, and then
that's
you see those
87
cats.
though. Was Paul's Boutique out by that time?
Oh,
I
Boutique was
get
that
what
Oh
second
Lex.
no,
album.
that's later on.
Yeah, that's later on.
I get what Lex talking about.
License to Ill came out in what, 86?
Yeah,
87?
Yeah, 86.
Nah,
Yeah.
86.
I get what Lex mean. I get what Lex talking about. Back then, the rappers was a little bit more popular than the CEOs and the producers at the time. So you know what I mean. So it wasn't like we was checking for Russell Simmons or Rick Rubin, even though they did do their job. But Run DMC had a
Nah,
Right.
I don't know, Donald. I think early in the hip hop
no.
days, bro. I think Russell Simmons was a big. I think the executives were huge figureheads back then, way more than now, bro.
What?
No. I'm gonna
100%,
tell.
bro.
I'm gonna tell
How?
You
you. No, I get what you're
Lex
saying.
back then. I could identify who all the executives were big,
Okay,
bro.
but
The executives were stars in themselves back then, bro.
but this is the thing though, like this is what I'm trying to explain from a fan's perspective. Like for example, you read the Source magazine. They used to have Power 30s at the year-end episodes, where they was the year-end magazines. My bad. Where
Yeah,
they
but
was showing all
Donald,
the
we talking about
CEOs.
the '80s though, bro.
That's what I'm.
This is pre-source.
That's what I'm saying. They
This
wasn't
is
doing that
pre-source,
back then.
and we
They
were fan. We were. I was a fan. We were all fans at that time. None of us were in the rap game. I'm just saying at that time, I knew who Russell Simmons, Def Jam, and Rush Management was in
I
the
mean,
'80s, bro. We
we knew
all
who they
knew.
was.
They were in
We knew
movies, my nigga. What are you talking about?
I mean,
Them
they
niggas were
was,
all. They had a whole movie based
okay,
on the
but
philosophy of getting the deal.
that's cool. But at the same time, we wasn't caring about the CEOs like we was caring about the rappers. We was
We
caring
didn't
about the
care about
rappers.
Russell Simmons' role in the movies, bro. We didn't care about their roles in those movies.
We was too busy enjoying the shit. We was too busy enjoying the rappers.
But
And that's just a
what
fact.
he's saying is the movie was based on Russell Simmons though.
The
I
movie
mean,
was based. The whole movie was based
even if
on
the movie
Russell
still was
Simmons being
based
an
on Russell
executive signing
Simmons,
artist, bro.
we still knew who he was, but we was too busy focusing on the rappers. Whether you
Some
like it
people
or not,
were.
that is the
Yeah.
truth.
I get what you're saying.
We was too busy focusing. That's what I'm saying. We was too busy focusing on the rappers. Yeah, we probably knew them niggas were on the record labels and
Bro,
stuff like that. That's cool.
Donald,
But
them niggas used to be on Yo MTV Raps the same way
yeah,
rappers did,
and
bro.
guess what? But who we was looking at? We
It
was looking
depends
at
on who
Dr.
you are,
Dre.
bro. You
We
may have
was
been
looking at
looking at
Dr.
some people, but I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Damn, that's Russell Simmons." I'm sure he
Hell
motivated a lot
no.
of people. Yeah.
If
We
Rick Rubin is the face and he's
okay.
introducing LL, he's introducing the BC Boys, the motherfuckers are not as big as they are today. They would not be legendary. LL would not be legendary. I'm telling you that right now.
Nah,
Like
but
for
trap.
example,
We would hold
like
that shit against them. Like, who the
like
fuck
yo
you wait for?
MTV Raps, bro. Like that shit was started by Ted Demme. But who was the main face of the shit? The
Fab Five
dark
Freddy.
skinned cat, Fab Five Freddy, Dr. Dre, Ed
That
Lover,
lover, Dr. Dre.
and the big dark skinned dude. I can't remember his name.
I forgot
So
that young
yeah,
man. I know you're talking about. I never
so
met
yeah,
him.
You talking about
Ted
the beginning,
Demme,
nigga?
yeah,
The
Ted Demme,
beginning,
man,
nigga.
he
Yeah, the
rest
beginning.
in Ted Demme, man, he rest in peace. But the main people that got our attention was the people that was put in front of our faces.
I'm just saying they
I'm
made
talking
it.
about.
I'm just saying we act like the back then that the executives were behind the scenes when literally they made a whole movie based on the executives, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, the whole movie was based on the executives, my nigga. It was
We
based
get
on
that.
Russell Simmons
We
and
get
Def
that.
Jam going to find acts, bro. That's what that shit was about.
Okay,
We
we
knew
get that.
we definitely in the '80s. We definitely knew who fucking Russell Simmons and Def Jam records were.
But
That was
But
the
did you
only
know? But
outlet
did you?
niggas had to get on.
But
Everybody knew that shit.
aside from Russell, like what was some other executives that we knew of back then? Though you feel like
Barry Gordy.
right,
Everybody knew who
right.
Pharrell.
Barry Gordy was.
The
Everybody knew
dude,
who Andre.
What
Everybody knew who
Sylvia
Andre
Robinson?
Harrell
the
was.
dude what
Everybody
about the
knew
dude
who
who had
Puff
the
Daddy
Juice Crew, who
was.
had the Juice Crew and all that shit? What's his
because they
name?
was putting themselves in the videos.
No, that's what I'm saying. The executives
Okay,
back then, they were like they
but
were a
back
big
then we
deal,
was
bro.
but back then we wasn't knowing all the executives, bro. We
I,
didn't know
I,
LA we didn't know LA Reid like that. We probably
We
heard
didn't know
his
Fly
name.
Tie.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Fly
Fly
Tie.
saying. Like
Oh,
this
Tie.
my Fly Tie. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, we was mainly focusing on the artist.
LA
Only reason why
Reid is
we
a I don't think LA Reid is a good example. I think
LA
I
Reid,
think all the
if,
rap
if,
executives though, I
LA
think
Reid
niggas
was actually an artist before he was
nigga,
even a
yeah,
what's his name?
he was an artist, and Andre Harrell was too.
Yeah,
Niggas
Andre
knew who
okay,
Harrell.
Jay Prince was. Did niggas know who Jay
no,
Prince
no,
was?
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, no, we
Jay
wasn't,
Prince
bro.
was an artist too.
We just heard the man name, but we didn't know who James Prince was. James Prince didn't
Huh?
even show his face.
No,
We
bro,
barely knew who he
we didn't
was.
know what nobody looked like till we saw that video. What I'm saying
Okay.
is the executive at the time, bro, they were talking about them just as much as they were talking about the artist, Donald, around those days, bro. In the
No,
early rap
they
a lot.
no, they wasn't, bro.
Got a call.
Nah,
All
but
right,
trap. Remember
that
that
Just as much as you heard
documentary?
about rap a lot.
you broke up
Trap.
real quick, like we can't hear you.
Trap. Remember
What
the
you said?
documentary from 1986 that we watched? Them people was from
Yeah,
Holland. They had a
yeah,
group of niggas from Chicago in 1986 that drove to New York to rap for
yeah,
Russell Simmons. This is
yeah.
1986. No internet. None
Yes,
of this.
bro.
They knew they had to rap for. They
Yeah.
went right outside Def Jam offices and they stood out
Mm-hmm.
there and they wanted to rap for
The
Russell Simmons.
executives had the
Okay,
And they
power
got
at that
credit.
time, bro. That's where the word
okay, that's
gatekeeper comes
cool.
from.
But we're talking about who was main known as far as from a fan's perspective.
But
Donald,
that's
Y'all saying,
he
86,
just
bro.
told you niggas flew from overseas. This
okay,
is pre-internet, bro.
yeah,
These are
exactly. If
niggas
you
coming
trying
from
to,
another country that know
okay,
what an executive is.
if you're trying to be a rapper, you're supposed to know that. But if you're talking about consumers,
Right.
we're talking about people
This
that
is the
are
80s,
consumers.
man.
But
Bro,
even
even if you talking
then,
about
like,
that,
but
bro, even if
Donald,
you talking
how
about
did
it,
That's
LL
all.
get his
then
deal? LL got his deal by looking on the back of a record to see where to
okay,
send it.
you
He
can
saw
say
Rick
that,
Rubin's
but
dorm room.
okay, bro,
He was
you
a
keep talking
fan.
about these rappers. We're talking about consumers. We're
But
talking about
LL
the
was a
regular
fan and he
everyday.
was a teenager.
Okay,
LL
you can
was
say
like
he's a fan,
15.
but that's different, dog. We talking about everyday consumers. I can talk to the regular consumer. They probably wouldn't even know who James Prince was. But when you talk about rap a lot, they gonna say Scarface. It's just like
I
that's just what
disagree.
it is.
Yeah, I
I'm
disagree.
not. I'm not disagreeing. That's just a fact. Because even James Prince will tell you, dog, he was playing the backfield for a reason.
Nobody said he wasn't playing the backfield. I'm just saying
Okay, so
at that time, Donald,
look,
executives were just as popular, bro. Niggas know
no,
who
they
Suge Knight
was,
was.
bro.
Niggas know who you know who Irv Gotti was. That was the era. The early era in music was the era of the executive being in the
Exactly.
forefront,
And
bro.
guess what? And that was around the time the source came out. They was giving CEOs props at that time, dog. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They was having year-end issues where they was showing the CEOs and giving them their credit due. They weren't doing that pre-source, man.
I'm talking about before the source, but go ahead. I'm talking about
What's
before
the
the source.
source? Bro, Suge Knight wasn't acting like that as CEO before
I'm
the
talking.
source.
No, I'm just using examples. The whole era at the beginning era until the internet came, bro. The executives were like popular from the jump, bro. They've always been the niggas, always. That's where the term gatekeeper comes from, bro. Literally, them niggas controlled the game. They had all the access. They knew everybody. Niggas used to come and try to hang with them niggas. Niggas used to stand out front and try to meet executives before they met a rapper. Niggas would know what executives look like, bro. Niggas would know them niggas.
All right, so look, we got because I got to clip it in 2 hours right now. We almost did. So we had Nas, man. Who Nas put on? AZ.
Nature. AZ, the Braveheart.
Brave Horse.
Nature.
Braveheart.
You put on Horse.
Davies.
This is Bodyguard.
Davies. For sure, from Fresno.
Oh, Nate Sean.
For sure.
What's nigga name from BA?
You talking about Quan?
Nah, you talking about Quan.
He ain't put a Meg on.
What you mean?
He put him on a song.
I ain't never heard.
Nigga had one song. He ain't came out with another song since.
That was Quan's
He had it.
song.
He put a tape up. I heard the tape before.
He put the firm on technically.
He got locked up after that. Some shit like that.
He put the group the firm on.
Yeah. You giving him Mega? You giving him Mega?
Yeah.
He put Cormega on for
You said that to Cormega. Now Cormega slap everybody in his bitch.
He's slapping ass niggas because I don't know who put Mega on before Nas.
I mean, he was
Nas put Mega on, man.
In the country in '96. Nobody knew the fuck who Mega was except for Illmatic, and then he put him on #1 album.
No, Nas put Mega on.
They said Mega was moving around in Queens before Nas. Is that real?
Nah, that's a fact. They said that Mega was
that's what my Queens niggas always tell me.
He looked upon him better than Nas.
That's the crazy part.
Man, Nas put Mega on, man. I hate to say this shit, dog. If he didn't have beef with Nas, it wasn't on that show. He still put the nigga on. If he had no beef with the nigga that was 3 years younger than him and put him on that song, we probably wouldn't even heard the dude.
Hey, Trump.
What's up, J-Bob?
So on this list of the 12, right, who do you feel like got a better two artists better than Wayne?
Shit, maybe nobody. I'm trying to think. Big guy.
Yeah,
Big
not
guy,
Nicki
Big guy,
and
Little
Drake.
Kim.
You can't. That's pretty big.
Big guy, Little Kim.
That's not big. That's not enough.
Yeah, nobody. Wayne got it. Wayne got that.
He got that barely.
But they was gonna go no matter what, cause he ain't putting none of them up. He ain't put Gutter on. There was a million niggas around Wayne.
Right.
None of them niggas went.
I think only those two plus Tiger needed to go though.
Nah, they're not
giving him Tiger. They don't want to give him Tiger.
Bro, come on. We gotta give him Tiger. Come on, bro. Y'all playing semantics. Come on, y'all playing semantics.
Nah, my nigga Travis put Tiger on, bro.
Who they giving Tiger credit to?
Travis
McCoy.
Oh yeah, you do, dog. That's probably that nigga cousin. He did kind of put
That's his first cousin, and he put him on.
The only other one I can think is Dr. Dre.
Shit, right?
Well, no, not Dr. Dre. No, that wouldn't count.
He ain't put Dre on the list.
No, he didn't put him on the list.
Shit, Snoop would have been on the list. Snoop would have had some people, right?
Snoop put a bunch of niggas on.
Yeah.
I think Kanye got a better 4 than Wayne. Wayne will have 4. Wayne got the top 2.
What are Kanye's for?
He said floor.
John Legend.
Big Sean, Travis Scott, John Legend.
He didn't put Travis Scott on.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, he signed.
Technically,
he signed
you have to do
Yeah, he signed the Grand Hustle, bro.
Is he still signed there? He ain't signed it
yes.
anymore, right?
No, still to this day.
That's how T.I. fucking. That's what it is. That's what the fuck.
Every time Travis come out with an album, Tip get a check.
Damn. Oh yeah, T.I. is good. Travis, damn, he quiet on that too. I'm about to clip this room right here.
Shit, that's why he being a comedian.
That's it. I thought he was out there already.